Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty up the Kraken. We stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
All right, we're back. It's the Loshak and the Bag Show right here on Pub Sports Radio. We do this every Tuesday. For newbies who might not be aware, he's Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. Just in case you're watching the first time, like, which one's the Bag and which one's Loshak? Well, now you know. Jimmy the Bag. It's Tuesday, April 11th. I have had a rough week. I've had a rough week and weekend, so I'm a little bit. I was thinking that I was worried. I was like, wow. I was like, this might be the actual first show that I ever do that I'm not prepared for. But that's actually not the case. I am now fully prepared for this show in all ways, and I'm happy about it. You know, we got through last week's show. I'm happy about the fact that I had another great winning show last week. If you remember that, Jimmy the Bag. You know, but I got everything. Look at this. This is my good luck charm now. Jimmy Gomez gifted me a Joe Burrow rookie card. I've got it sitting next to me at all times now, just because, not for good luck, just to remind me of love. So we got this reminds me of love. I'm wearing the Tampa Bay hat, right? Because if I can be 10% of the man that they are as a team, that would be an achievement. So what an awesome team Tampa Bay is. I aspire to be an awesome human being, and so I'm wearing the hat in honor of that. I got the mustache. I think it's going to be a good show. Jimmy's like, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing great. I also have a Jimmy Gomez gift here, the stained glass Bobo Bichette beauty right there, 2020 year of his rookie season. So I love that you keep it not for good luck, but
no,
to remind you of love. I love that.
Exactly. Just and they say that's really what life is all about, and I'm starting to buy it. Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah, I feel it as well. You had a great start to the MLB season with us, 3-1 here on the show. I know that you were tentative, and you would like to start out in the black. You've done that. I am in the black as well. I had a 4-1 day Friday. I gave back a unit on Sunday. I had a really bad Sunday Night Live show, and it's just been hanging on me for a couple days now. I can't wait till next Sunday. I have to get back in the box. I just really bothered me. Really bothered me. But I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to start with NHL. We're almost done the regular season. Regular season will conclude on Thursday. Then we have a big MLB card, and there's lots of spots that I'm very close to moving on, but I want to talk it all out. And I love seeing all the cappers in the chat, and I love these Tuesdays with you, Pistol Pete Loshak. Shout out to Viper NB. He's ready to get to work. Says lots of plays for him today, and I've copied and pasted them. Boston, Tampa Bay over 7. Miami, Philadelphia over 7.5. Detroit, Toronto over 8.5. San Diego, New York over 8.5. Seattle, Chicago over 9.5. White Sox, Minnesota over 7.5. And Miami, first 5 money line. He's leaning towards Minnesota, LA Lakers, but waiting to cap that with the fam. I have bet my first parlay in a long time in NBA, and just 2 units on it, but I have parlayed the Lakers money line with the Raptors money line, and I plan to try to middle it tomorrow with the unit on the Bulls +5 or 5.5, depending on where that line goes. I do think we could see a 5.5. Maybe it's 5.5 now. That's my plan, though. I did so the parlay's -114. I got in it late. I didn't bet it until early this morning. I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. I've still been thinking about the New York Knicks futures, and I still haven't moved on those. But the 35-1 Eastern Conference now 40-1. But we'll talk all that out. And there's Dan Kelly says series bets Knicks +180.
Wow.
Pete, you talk often about a capper betting against his home team and his favorite team, and that's what's right there. Dan Kelly betting against his Cleveland Cavaliers at +180. Now that gives me.
Let me give. Can I give a few shout outs? A few quick shout outs.
Please do.
I won't take that long. First of all, AOD AOD, hell yeah. He says, Loshak, we love you. AOD, that makes me feel so good. I love you too. AOD. Then I'm seeing Paco Healy in the comment section. Shout out to you, Paco Healy. Oh my God, everyone. Matty Ice winning the Dabby Cap. Oh my God, everyone's here. Billy Friedrich, Rocker Rogers, D. Jenkins, J Dub, Nutflush, Allen, Con Clips, Dave Redding, JPC. Oh my God, Justin McIvy, Rocker Rog, Saturday, everything's here. North Ender, hell yeah. People are already talking about Lance Lynn, Dave Redling saying Lynn doesn't wake up till midseason. He'll get torched today. I would agree with that. I'll probably have an official play against fading Lynn for sure. Just a couple of, Danny Lopez, oh man, just huge shout out to everyone. Seeing Nutflush, Allen in there, Dan Kelly, AOD, Nuke Worker, and yes, and someone else said I can't. Oh yeah, there. Billy Friedrich says, Pete, is that cap from Big Ragu? Yes, sometimes there's multiple positives to something. This is also just a little homage to Big Ragu. Hung out with him in San Antonio. What a fun fucking time that was. Oh, Big Ragu. Oh man, I won't even get into it. We don't have time. We'll have to have a separate, special Pub Sports radio show where we can, where I can discuss all the wonderful things that happened at the San Antonio Pubapalooza 2. We don't have time for it right now, but yes, shout out to Big Ragu wherever I know where he is in Florida, unless he's taking a vacation somewhere, a trip somewhere. Shout out to Big Ragu.
One of the best parts about our trip to San Antonio is we're all so excited to do it again next year.
It's going to happen again next year. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we're doing it every year. But to have that, just to know that that's coming at the end of the March, that you get to cap with your best friends, drink and hang out at the Southtown 101. I mean, it's absolute heaven. It's absolute heaven, especially for the people up north in the cold who know that, just get to the end of March, get down to San Antonio, feel the sunshine, and win together, cap together, win together. I'm very excited. There's so many great cappers in the chat. Outside looking in, my guy, Alondo, Andrew G. Piker. And there's Paco, the Dodgers over 8, juiced, looking at that. Same game.
And there you go. I like Poker Addicted. Poker Addicted is all about like the real shit. When he'll call me out, he'll call anyone out if they give an opinion that's a little bit on the stupid side or whatever. So I love Poker Addicted because he always keeps it real. Poker Addicted, keep it real.
Yeah.
Hell of a stash. Grade A, right? Poker Addicted, grade A stash. You know it. I know you know it.
Something you may have not been privy to over the past year was our guy TJ's gift. He has gifts, and they don't come very often. The gift is 13, 2-1 since last year, and the gift is Seattle Moneyline plus 105. There's Jedi for Life. What a great group. Okay, a couple things I want to mention. Grit and Grind, Chad Lehman. I wish we could give you guys all a shout out. Mr. Vape, RVD 420, Danny Lopez, Christopher Comentini, Miami Chuck, Marvelous Mike, Real Deal, Christopher Carter. You guys all deserve it. Dabber, D. Jenkins, Bo Jackson, Billy Friedrich, J. Dub. And Billy Friedrich says, I know Jimmy's on the other side, but I already bet the Red Wings plus 1.5 puck line and half unit game goes to OT. Canes are 7-9 without Svechnikov, 3-3 versus non-playoff teams without him. Oh, and I'll copy and paste that, Billy. I'm not betting on the Hurricanes. I'm betting against Detroit. I'm fading Detroit. There's a team that has just let go.
Dan Kelly. Can I say what Dan Kelly says?
Yes, please do.
He says, I like to try to handicap focus because it's not something easily quantifiable that the books can put in their algos. But the fucking AI machine learning fucking bots that they got can, Dan Kelly. So let's get it while the getting's good, because even handicapping that will soon disappear.
Something very important to us here, just before this will be the last thing, then we'll get into.
I didn't mean to cast a negative pall over the entire show with my fucking comment there.
Taint play today is in. Also, Ron Crawford sent me the spreadsheet play today, so we're locked and loaded. Everything's copied and pasted. We're locked and loaded. Right. One of the things that Pete and I wanted to do was give our audience, give the low baggers in the chat a voice. And it was important to us. We've had cappers come from the chat to become very big in the industry. Ski Profit, Clint McLean, started Die Hard MMA podcast, bigger than I am. Have become very, very big in the industry. Bigger than either Peter and I are. And that makes us so proud and so excited. And many great cappers have taken the next step through being, part of our chat to then being on camera and taking it to the next level. We have our next low bagger about to grace the screen as we move forward. Troy Torrance is about to be an on-screen talent here at Pop Sports Radio, and I'm really excited about it. You guys will get to know Troy a little more as we move forward. Pete, he was a professional Madden player from 2007 to 2009. He won 3 championships. Yeah.
Wow.
He also was an All-American wide receiver at St. Francis, Pennsylvania. All-American. So he was undrafted in 2015, that TV show, and the Bears did sign him. So it's a very exciting, and he also tried his hand at professional poker. He's got a great job right now. He's educated, and he is the next capper that's coming from our chat to coming on camera with us, and we want you guys to know that that's really important to us, and it's exciting, and we love it. So just let you guys know.
Oh yeah, the backstories of everyone is always mind blowing. And Dan Kelly, he says, I know that. Yeah, I know that you know Dan Kelly. I was just trying to grasp for a fucking AI joke in the middle of this video. Dan, I know Dan, I know, and I know and I know. Hell yeah! But what we got today, just like Eckhart Tolle says, live in the now. We got the fucking now here at Pub Sports Radio, right?
We got the now. And look at Clint. He says, just want to say thank you, Jimmy, for being our fearless leader and my gambling mentor. So you pulled me out of the hole, man. This year has reminded me of what I can do, and I appreciate you for reminding me. This is all you, Clint. And I've said that often, but especially what the spectacular run you've had to start this year. It's all you. You've had a few friends just remind you to believe in yourself. That's all. This is all you, and you've done this, and we love watching it. So, all right, let's get to work.
No, but that's my clap for Troy. I didn't know any of that shit. It's incredibly impressive. Now let's go.
Isn't that exciting, though? And isn't that exciting?
It's amazing.
Saturated is one Madden tourneys, and also he has the fastest internet of any American capper that we have because he was preparing himself to go back into the land of Madden tournaments. But he's decided that this is what he prefers to focus on, sports gambling and capping with us. So it's very exciting. So Troy Torrance is about to. There he is right there. Troy Torrance in the chat says, I appreciate the words, extremely excited. We're extremely excited, Troy. And it's a big, it means so much to Pete and I. So we're really excited about having you on and showing other cappers the opportunities that lie within.
Yeah, like for example, and just one more thing, but this is a little bit funny, and then we'll get into it. Like in the low bag trivia contest, you remember when we did that? I have the video, and I show it to people sometimes. They're like, "Yo, that dude in the front looks like Ski Profit." I'm like, "No, that is Ski Profit." They're like, "No shit." I'm like, "Yup."
Yeah, he won the first ever low bag trivia contest. Yeah, no, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. All right, let's get to work. This is a complicated NHL card, and I'm really excited to talk baseball. We're going to close with Ski Profit in NBA.
He's coming on today?
Oh, sorry, I said Ski Profit. Sorry, Wham Bam. Wham Bam 3000. We're going to close the Wham Bam 3000 in NBA. And I've made 2 bets in NHL, and I'd like to do more, but this is pretty tricky card here. TJ says, I can't say who, but I'm not making a lot of off picks working with a well-known guy in the industry who uses my MLB thanks to you. Well, that's great news, TJ. It's just exciting. We've watched this all. There's so many spectacular cappers in the chat, and we were really proud to showcase them. But let's get to work right now. NHL, 7 p.m. Eastern. Washington Capitals, 35-36-9, 17-20-3 on the road at Boston Bruins, 63-12-5, 33-4-3 at home. We're at TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts here. Pete, do you want to set a table for us?
Which game? The Washington game?
Yeah, Washington-Boston is where we're going to start out.
Yeah, this one, obviously Washington on a back-to-back. Boston's still winning, right? They've won 6 in a row. And again, I'm a little bit I skimped a little bit on my NHL capping, but so does Boston care about? I know they were going for the record, and they got it, right?
Look, it's absolute bullshit, Pete.
What happened? Tell me.
Well, it's just both. They've won 52 games in regulation. The 95-96 Red Wings won 62. Fedorov, Yzerman, Coffey, Kozlov, Larionov, Lidstrom, Primo, Cicarelli, Fedosov, Konstantinov, McCarty. Konstantinov was a plus 60. The 76-77 Habs won 60 games in regulation.
That's right. Oh no, they are trying to match the Canadians. That's right, for the most.
No, they're not even going to come close to that shit. They're not even going to come close. But they've won the most games in this new, overtime 3-on-3 and shootout.
Right.
And they don't even care about it. They don't give a fuck about it.
But you think that Boston doesn't care about matching Montreal?
They can't come close to match Montreal. There's not enough games left. They can't come close. Look at the 76-77 Habs won 60 in regulation. That's with Lafleur and Schutt. A 25-year-old Larry Robinson was a plus 120, plus 120 that year, 85 points. This isn't even the best Bruins team of all time. The 70-71 Bruins won 57 games in regulation in a 78-game season. That team averaged 5.12 goals a game. 5.12 goals a game. Esposito scored 76. Bobby Orr had 139 points, and Bobby Orr was a plus 124. Who gives a fuck about these Bruins this year, other than if they can win?
Let's put Boston aside for a second. Washington sucks, right? They're coming off a win, but they suck, right?
They have this ridiculous salary cap issues, so they have all these injuries, and they can't bring anybody up.
Right.
They can't. So they haven't been able to the last 3 games. So Ovechkin, upper body injury, Mantha, lower body injury, Nick Dowd, it's undisclosed, TJ Oshie, and Trevor Van Riemsdyk, upper body injury. They're all hurt now. They were 0-7 without Ovechkin until they won last night, surprisingly. But they're playing with 17 skaters. You know, they don't have enough players to fill. Now, maybe I don't see it changing. I don't see Ovechkin coming back. But keep rolling, Pete, my man.
Because I'm just reading here, obviously you follow. I'm just reading here, Boston enters the game just 1 point away from matching the 76-77 Canadians for most points in NHL history. You're telling me that's wrong?
No, that's right.
Right.
But there was there was ties.
Right.
So who cares? I mean, who cares? That's just bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just, the 95-96 Red. We don't need to get into this, but it's just,
right.
It's just,
so the point is, if Boston cares a little bit, they'll roll. Washington is just terrible. Is Washington care at all here? Well, I think they cared to finally win a game without Ovechkin. I think they cared to stop this Islander train, and now the Penguins are minus 220 to make the playoffs and can control their own destiny against the Blackhawks and the Blue Jackets. But do they care? I don't know. I think that they care more because Ovechkin and Mantha and Oshie are all out. I think that makes them care a little more. Yeah, Knuckle Challenge saying he hates that the Caps won last night, presumably because if they had lost, he would like the Caps here or love them.
Yeah.
Or the team total over. Yeah, I was thinking over, right?
I guess. I imagine that we have Jeremy Swayman confirmed. It would be a Yulmark start, but he's been sick of late. So I imagine it's Swayman, 2.22 goals against average, 921 save percentage against Charlie Lindgren. Charlie Lindgren's been a little better than people have thought. I kind of like what he's done as a backup in front of a bad hockey team. Washington 2-6-2 over their past 10, but they're still scoring on the power play even without Ovechkin. 23.1% power play, 83.3% penalty killing. Boston is the most professional team we've seen in a long time, probably since the 95, maybe the 2018-19 Lightning. But the fact that they've been cleared in first overall, first in division, and they just keep winning games. They just keep winning games, but they've got they're trying to get healthy. They care most about that. So Orlov and McAvoy, their top 2 defensemen, are likely not going to play. Forbort is also out, so there's 3 defensemen there. Patrice Bergeron, David Krejci, Nick Foligno are all likely not going to play. Let's just go over the line history here, and then I'd like to finish hearing what your thoughts are.
I'd love to take over or maybe Caps team total over or something like that, but you got to be real careful at this time of year, right?
Very, very careful. It's very tricky. Very, very tricky. Here, let's just grab. Why do they not have Pinnacle up here? They're not giving me Pinnacle's lines for some reason. But at Bookmaker, this opened up at minus 275, which is where it is now. There's been no movement there. Totals wise, it's opened up at 6, and there's been no movement there either. Strange. Yeah, I don't find do you have a lean to the over, and I respect that, but
right? Why would there not be just hit a couple pucks at the goal, a few of them are going to go in, doesn't really matter this game, right? Maybe Boston wins, maybe they lose, right? Why would you not? Is Boston going to clamp on defense? Of course not.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. I remember those jackets, Piker. I had the San Jose Sharks jacket, and a bunch of guys fucking rolled me on my way home from school and stabbed it 15 times with a knife in front of me. Rather the jacket than me, I guess.
All right, I'll pass on this one. It's just Boston. Some of these teams, even when the game doesn't matter, it's just by force of habit, they just friggin' play awesome anyway.
Yeah, they just play professional hockey.
Yeah, and Boston. Look at their record. It's been a month since they've had a home game that went to 7. You know what I mean?
Wow. So we're not gonna have to use a bookmaker, which is
I got
fine.
Pinnacle. You need Pinnacle? What do you need?
It's not up on the site I'm using. They pulled Pinnacle's line history.
Okay,
So
I got Pinnacle up here. Any game, any line. Let me know. I'll shout it out for you, Jim.
beautiful. Okay, beautiful. This just doesn't really appeal to me enough.
Right.
Billy Frieder says the third Hughes brother to debut tonight. Tommy didn't just say that. Says Islanders hurt my feelings last night. My playoff ticket going up in flames this close to the end is a kick in the nuts. It was shocking.
Nutflesh saying really looking into Caps team total under. Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
I respect that, but I just still, this. I just don't ever really want this big of a dog on a team total under. I'd be curious to see what it is for me if I wanted it right now at Bet365 and.
Yeah, all right, let's move on. But first, Poker Addicted quoting John Lennon. God damn, I love John Lennon. Poker Addicted 79. I fucking love John Lennon. All right, move on.
That makes one of us. Yes, let's move on. Red Wings, Hurricanes. Let's roll, my man. Next up, Red Wings, Hurricanes.
All right, that was a good one, Jim. All right, Red Wings, Hurricanes. This one, again, both on back-to-back. Hurricanes lost 3 in a row now, all on the road. Does this game mean anything to them? I didn't look into. I'm thinking, probably another low-scoring game. They played low-scoring games this all season long, so I'd be leaning under 6. And as far as the massive money line, does Carolina want to get right here? Does this mean anything to them? Let me know.
It does, but it hasn't mattered. It hasn't mattered that these games have meant a lot to Carolina lately. I have Magnus Hellberg as the expected goaltender for the Wings against Antti Ranta. Let me know if that's wrong. That's important. Hellberg 5-8-1, 3.20 goals against average, 888 save percentage. Ranta 18-3-3, 2.28 goals against average, 909 save percentage, 4 shutouts. Detroit 4-5-1 over the past 10, 25.9% power play, 80% penalty killing. Carolina 4-5-1, 14.3% power play, 86.2% penalty killing. We've already heard from our guy Billy Friedrich, who watches this team. This is his team. He watches them live, and he has already bet the Wings plus 1.5 on the puck line and a half on the game going to overtime. Canes are 7-9 without Svechnikov and 3-3 versus non-playoff teams without him. They tried to put Puljujarvi as a top 6 forward, and we all pointed and laughed at them. Puljujarvi now in 15 games for the Hurricanes is a -4, but he's 2 assists, no goals and 2 assists. I don't know why they picked him up. Edmonton's thankful. Red Wings on the second half of back-to-back following their third straight ugly home loss, 6-1 versus Dallas last night. So it's one thing when a team's mailing it in, but they're mailing it in front of their own fans.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a fade of the Red Wings for me. They've been outscored 11-2 over the past 2 games. Now, we've seen the Habs do a similar thing. They were outscored, I think, something like 16-3 over 3 games. Then they went home and played well in front of their home fans. Now the Red Wings are going out on the road. The Canes on the second half back-to-back after losing 3-2 at Ottawa last night. They have to get right. Rod Brind'Amour is losing his shit over all this. He can't sleep at night. He's just banging his head against walls. This team has not. So I'm on the puck line. I'm on -1.5 at -115. This team hasn't covered a puck line in their last 5 hockey games. They're now 1 point up on the Devils and 2 up on the Rangers. They hold a game in hand on the Rangers. They need to win, and I expect them to win here. Billy Friedrich says Kane's final game is in Florida against a team that has to win to get into the playoffs. You're absolutely right. And Mike M says teams with no rest after playing the Senators 5-20, including a 6-game losing streak for the home favorite. Detroit opportunity here. Look, I get all of that. But again, I do not believe in the trends at this time of year. I believe in motivation. So I don't care about that. And I love, look, we watched Mike M, by the way, on our Sunday night live stream. Pete had 2 home run props. He had Kim and Grisham plus 900 plus 850. They both went yard. He had the Padres. He was just cashing on top. He's a spectacular capper, and the trends work really well for him. Here, I don't believe in the trends. I don't care about the trends. Rod Brind'Amour is going to lose his shit in the dressing room before the game starts. And
really?
He's going to absolutely lose it. He can't stand, you can't do this going into the playoffs. He knows that. He's won cups. So, Billy Friedrich said Canes' lack of movement and trade line would be their fatal flaw. I hope so. I want the Canes to lose, but this is a fade of the Red Wings who aren't trying. This is one team that's not trying against a team that has to get right. So I believe in the Hurricanes here.
Wow.
I'm on them on the puck line, and I don't
Okay,
care.
I hope you. I was about to throw on maybe Detroit team total under, but it's just like, I mean, you see this in all sports. Yeah, the team's at home, they can't put anything in the net. Then they go on the road against a good defensive team, and all of a sudden they put up 4. I don't know. So I hope you cash me back. I'm going to pass once again.
Let's move on to Buffalo Sabres, New Jersey Devils. We're at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, Pete.
All right, so Buffalo is fighting for their playoff lives, and they've been winning. Right, they've won 7 of their last 9. They're on a back-to-back. New Jersey lost their last game at Boston, but they've been winning as well. You got a huge favorite line here for New Jersey and a high total. I don't know. I mean, this game I think does matter a lot, obviously, but Buffalo's still fighting. So I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'll let it marinate a little bit. But got to be thinking under, and got to be thinking that the line is a little bit too high, even though New Jersey's great and Buffalo's on a back-to-back.
Yeah, let's do it. And I didn't mention there's been no line movement on these games but you know what? I'm going to use Bet Online. Let's just go to Bet Online for their line movements. But there's been no line movement either for
in this game. The Devils are minus 227 at Pinnacle that I'm seeing right now. So
sweet. Okay.
I'm seeing a line move in favor of the Devils.
Yeah, I was just saying the Detroit Carolina. I forgot to talk about the line movement there. But over here at Bet Online for this Buffalo, New Jersey spot, I don't know. I guess I don't need to leave Bookmaker. I guess I'm getting a little hasty there. But there was a quick move towards Buffalo. Went from plus 180 to plus 170. They're back at plus 180 now. Totals wise, this opened up at 7 minus 120 to the under. There's been no movement here. I've got Luokkanen here versus Vitek Vanacek. I don't know if it is Luokkanen, and someone let me know and confirm that would be great. Luokkanen 17, 11, and 4, 3.61 goals against average, 892 save percentage. He's not been very good. Vitek Vanacek 32, 11, and 4, 2.46 goals against average, 910 save percentage, 3 shots. Buffalo 7-2-1 over the past 10, 17.6% power play, 80% penalty killing. Jersey 5-4-1, 26.9% power play, 84% penalty killing. Sabres on the second half of back-to-back after winning their third straight game 3-2 in a shootout at the Rangers last night. This is as healthy as they've been all year. The Devils had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 2-1 loss to the Bruins on Saturday. They're just 1 point out of the first place in the Met. Dougie Hamilton is sick. He missed their last game on Saturday. I expect him to be back in the lineup. This is an important game. I think the Devils take care of business here, but I don't want them at this price. And the Sabres are healthy and playing good hockey and still have some hope. So, Real Deal Prime is expecting Levi here
to be a back-to-back.
Did Levi play? If Levi played last night, I'd be shocked that he
did. He did.
Okay, yeah, there's no way. But I expect it to be Loken, and they're not going to go back to back with Levi here. I guess I would take the Sabres if I had a free bet, with the plus money spot. But I think that the Devils know how important it is to have home ice. They know that the Hurricanes are scuffling and they could win the division. I think that's all very, very important to the Devils. And I thought they were very impressive in that 2-1 loss at Boston on Saturday night. So Billy Friedrich says they're not officially eliminated, but they kind of are. Yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs, but they're trying and showing heart and effort.
Can you tell me, Jim, why the total is so high?
Well, I think it's Luokkanen in that. The Devils are going to be able to get theirs, and it's hard to imagine the Sabres game where they don't put up 3 goals, but I know they only put 2 here. Barry Smith says, no way Sabres win back-to-back. I agree. I think this is probably too high of a total. I think I think that you are right there. With New Jersey going to play a playoff type game.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Caesars line. First period under 2 minus 125. If they put up 3 in the first period, which is entirely possible, fine. But I'm going to take Buffalo, New Jersey. First period under 2 minus 125. First official play, Jim.
I have some interest in the under here. Under 7. I have some interest. I will look into that a little more. I think that I'd probably prefer a Sabres team total under, but I'd need to see what that would consist of. Let me just check that very, very quickly. I think I'd probably prefer that. Let's just look at this team total really quickly. And we got baseball. We got so much work to do.
Yeah.
So The under 2.5 plus 115, the under 3.5 is minus 210. That's not. It's the 3 would just be too costly, so I'm not interested in that. And I have some interest in the under 7. Some Barry Smith says Devils 4-2 win. Mike, I'm looking at Buffalo Sabres first period at plus 150. Pistol Pete on the first period under 2 minus 125, and I have some interest here. Billy saying under 2.5 and plus 127 that bookmaker for the Sabres. I would prefer a 3 here. I would much prefer a 3 here, but I let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
Okay.
That under 7 is appealing, but let's keep rolling. Next up for us, Pete, is Columbus Blue Jackets at Philadelphia Flyers.
Oh yeah, this one. I mean, who knows? It's both losing teams. Last home game for Philly. Huge favorite line for Philly. I guess Philly here would be the play, right? Jimmy the Bag. Two teams that aren't playing for anything. I think, unless I'm not aware of it. And Philly's last home game, right? Philly? No.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost 7 straight, and I do have their under 73.5 point total for the season. They're at 71. I thought it was dead in the water, but they've lost 7 straight, the last 6 in regulation. But they're healthier than they've been all season long. And you're right, this is their last home game of the year. And who's going to be in net for the Jackets? Is it Michael Hutchinson? Because if it's Michael Hutchinson, then the Flyers probably deserve to be big favorites here, even though I don't want them at this number. Let's just take a look at what it is right now for the Flyers. Minus 180, moved to minus 185. From a totals perspective, this opened up at 6.5 minus 125. Now it's 6.5 minus 129. This Columbus Blue Jackets team is just ravaged with injuries. 3-6-1 over their past 10. The exact same as the Flyers, even though the Flyers have lost 7 straight. They had a 3-game winning streak before the 7 losses. 11.5% power play for the Flyers over the past 10, 85.7% penalty killing. The Jackets also coming off their 3rd straight loss, 4-0 at home versus the Rangers on Saturday. They've lost their last 3 games by a combined score of 16-3.
And they're not putting any shots on goal either. They're putting 18 shots in the entire game.
They look awful. And Line A is not there. And obviously they've been playing without Werenski all year, but they lose Jake Bean and Nick Blankenberg, 2 defensemen. And these guys are all done, for the year. No one's coming back. It's I can understand the Flyers being at this number. I guess I can. At first, I was like, who would possibly want the Flyers at this number? But final home game of the year, you can get that -1 for cheap.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna make it official, Jim. Philly, I'm gonna use the Pinnacle line. Flyers -1, minus 118. Official play.
Flyers -1, minus 118. If it's Michael Hutchinson, if anybody can confirm Michael Hutchinson, then I think I should probably bet the Flyers, because if the Flyers lose this game, I automatically cash the under for the season total under. So if they have to lose in regulation. So Mike M says, interesting note, Flyers have covered the puck line at home after a home loss 12 in a row. Wow. And Mike M says, give me those Flyers -1.5. I think I agree with you. I think I'm going to roll with you guys on this. It also is a semi-hedge. I like this. I'm going to come with you guys on the Flyers -1. Good cap. That'll be my first edition. Mike, I'm looking at Tippett shots on goal, points, and goals props. He's been doing great with that look. And Barry Smith says Blue Jackets win. So Barry Smith.
Who said that? Who said that?
Barry Smith. Barry Smith said Blue Jackets win.
Why would that be? Why would that be? Because it just doesn't mean anything, and even the Flyers don't really care.
We see teams in their final home game of the year try. We just see it. So I can understand Barry not believing in the Philadelphia Flyers, but I like them in this spot, and I'm with you and Mike M. But if it's Hutchinson, then it's just a slam dunk, Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
I was gonna double up and add on the Columbus team total under at plus money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't know how much we want to invest in this hockey game.
Right. Okay, I'll just stick with one play, not go crazy here. All right, let's move on, Jim.
Toronto Maple Leafs, Tampa Bay Lightning, Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Pete, take it away.
All right, so this one is a tough one, right? They're going to meet in the first round. So what happens in games like these? I'm not sure. My sense is they just kind of skated out. I know Toronto has a lot of they might be holding guys out, and I believe they also have some defensemen out, right? Their top 2 defensemen. Isn't that situation for them?
Riley, they've been dealing with but he wasn't on the injury report this morning. Let me just.
And is Vasilevsky starting? I believe. I'm assuming he will be, right?
I was surprised that he was. No, they still don't have. At this point, they just have Gustafson on the injury report. Victor Mete, but that doesn't matter. So no, at this point, Riley is. But I was with you, Pete. I expect. Like, if you look at the injury report this morning, it's got Yarncroc and Sam Lafferty day-to-day with undisclosed injuries. But I have right here, I wouldn't be surprised if Leafs hit a few regulars tonight.
Yeah, of course. So, and how many? I'm not sure. I was thinking. I'm seeing at one site Vasilevsky likely, and so I was thinking Toronto team total under, probably Tampa Bay as well as a favorite at home. But I was also thinking Toronto team total under.
I'm right with you here. You show the opposition nothing here. Right. You just kind of go through the motions. So does that mean that the over is in play, like Viper's looking at the over 6.5? I don't know what the hell's happening in this one. Of course, we're going to see them play for real here in a second. I was in Florida. I was in Central Florida, like just right outside of Tampa, and in Tampa for the game, the final 2 games of the series against the Leafs, and they have a real fan base. There was times where we didn't believe they had one, but they have a real fan base. Everybody wearing Lightning gear, everybody caring about beating the Leafs last year, and this is going to be a really fun series. The Leafs are better than they were last year, I think. I think the Leafs. Well, we'll discuss this more as we move forward, but I'm very curious to see what the line is on the series. I imagine the Leafs will be slight favorites, but I am expecting to bet the Leafs to beat the Lightning in the first round. And I know that may sound horrifying to some people because of how the struggles the Leafs have had in the playoffs, but I'm expecting to do that at this point.
How does hockey work? Are they going to sit all the stars and then the other guys are going to suddenly get a chance to shine and they're actually going to try to put in some goals?
Sky Dragon says Toronto -125 for the series. I expect that. Yeah, I think you probably nailed it there. Levels play today is in. Who is that though? The assist over 4.5. Can you hit that again for me, Tone? I just don't know what, look at the Lightning. They've lost 3 straight games. They turned it on. We saw how good they could be. Now they've lost 3 straight games. They're coming off a 7-4 loss at Ottawa on Saturday. They've been outscored 19-8 in those 3 losses. They've allowed 19 goals in their last 3 games. Tanner Jeannot, the injury is not as bad as first feared. It looks like he'll return some point in the series. Oh, Austin Reeves over. Okay, thank you. I'll get that locked in. AR-15. This just I just don't know here, Pete. I don't know exactly what's going to happen when they're going to meet with everything on the line here and everything on the line for the Leafs.
And look at Barry Smythe also saying Leafs win this one too.
Yeah, I don't dislike that at all. Let's just take a look at the line history here. Just neither team cares. So if neither team cares, why not be on the dog? This opened up Tampa -135. They're now -145. Totals wise, this opened up at 6.5. It hasn't moved. I mean, the most important factor in this hockey year, if we're talking about 2 teams that aren't going to show, it's the fact that the Leafs played last night in a very intense 2-1 overtime win. That's the single most important factor in these 2 teams playing right now because there's nothing on the line. So I would lean towards the Lightning taking care of business here. Nufflashan says, do the Leafs and Tampa want to just play vanilla hockey? Marcus Ryan has no goal first 10 minutes. This just doesn't appeal to me from a gambling perspective, trying to get kind of put a finger on motivation when I can't. And it seems like there's just too many variables for me.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna take a shot, I think, with the Leafs team total under 2.5 at +135. That makes some sense to you, right, Jim?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Team total under 2.5 +135. Current line at Heritage. I'll make that official. And it does seem like just Tampa Bay is gonna. I mean, are the Leafs gonna care at all here? Vassie's probably gonna be in.
Team total under 2.5.
Yeah.
At what?
+135. Current line at Heritage.
That's I like the plus money there that you're getting there. Why don't we keep rolling here? Andrew G said I watched the Tampa Rangers game the other night and they beat the piss out of each other. I tried to picture the Leafs fighting back. That was a really fun game to watch, no doubt about it. But let's roll. Let's roll off. Pete is on the Leafs team total under 2.5. I'm so excited about Captain Baseball with you today, Pete. But the due diligence needs to be made. Leafs team total under 2.5 plus 135. Let's move on to Blackhawks at Pittsburgh Penguins, PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Pete.
I mean, who knows? Pittsburgh was minus 452 when I looked at it earlier this morning. Now they're up to minus 503. All in. Going to go all in on Pittsburgh. Money line minus 503. Why not, Jimmy the Bag? I mean, the Blackhawks on a back-to-back lost one. They've lost 11 out of their last 12. That means the fair line in their last 12 games. I know we're cherry-picking the endpoints, but these guys are really having a hard time buying a win. And Pittsburgh won 2 in a row. Why would we not like Pittsburgh here?
Oh, I mean, the number is ridiculous here, and I hated. Look at the Islanders. I have a plus 210 to make the playoffs, and they're not going to now. But I kind of like that Pittsburgh's going to finagle their way in. We talked a lot about last week about any team with Sidney Crosby is going to be accountable when push comes to shove. I love everything that he said in the media. I love that they've stepped up here, but I don't want them at this
right. Of course,
price.
And because Pittsburgh might just be like, all right, for this one game, let's try to fuck up this team that's a massive favorite against us trying to make the playoffs, right?
Well, the Blackhawks will try here.
Yeah.
What does that mean? The fact that the Islanders lost to the Capitals last night was just shock and awe and jaw drop to the floor. It's just shocking. Pittsburgh comes in off important wins. They won 4-1 at home over Minnesota on Wednesday. They won 5-1 at Detroit on Saturday. They play Chicago tonight and Columbus on Thursday, and they're going to get into the playoffs. Pedersen's out. They're still waiting for the debut of Dmitry Kulikov, who they picked up injured at the deadline. They knew he was hurt. Blackhawks on the second half of back-to-back after losing their third straight game last night, 4-3 at home to the Wild. I thought it was 4-2. I think I wrote that in wrong. They've been outscored 14-5 over those 3 losses, and Jared Tenorti's out with a hip injury. I understand the Penguins are. You don't need to worry about a Sidney Crosby-led team to not be focused here against a bad team with so much on the line. Mike M says since March 29th, teams are 20-0 with 3.18 goals against average at home after a previous matchup with line over minus 218 and 2 on the puck line. That might be the look for me. Pittsburgh minus 1. I looked at Pittsburgh minus 1.5, but it was like minus 175, I believe, when I looked at it. Now it's at 200. Look, I'm just not interested. And, if anybody is, and, go forth into the night, I want nothing to do with this game. If I was going to do anything, I would have some interest in the under 6.5, but can I try? Is it Mrazek in that? So I do have some interest. I think the Penguins are going to play tight hockey. I think they'll be squeezing their sticks, but the floodgates could open up at any minute. So I have some interest in the under 6.5. I'll write it down with question marks. Do you want anything to do in this one, Peter?
No, but you know what? I'm gonna go against Smythe here, at least in this one thing. Can you add on for me Tampa Bay minus 1 plus 110? Can we do that, Jim?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Tampa Bay minus 1 plus 110. I'll double it up. If Vassey's in, which I think he will be, I think he'll play up to his level roughly, and hopefully they'll get it. I understand why that might not be a good bet, but I'm going to do it. If it wins, I'll be frustrated that I didn't actually make it official. So,
Well, let's roll on to a bet I have made finally. Okay. Winnipeg Jets at Minnesota Wild. Take it away. Set the table. XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay, Winnipeg is, I believe, almost certain to make the playoffs, but mathematically they have not clinched it yet. Both these teams are on a back-to-back, right? And both of these teams are obviously winning. I'm assuming that Hellebuck won't be in for Winnipeg, even though he's played 10 or 12 games in a row. I'm assuming they'll be sitting him. And I guess I'd like Minnesota here.
I don't.
Okay, tell me why.
So this is the motivation, everything. We can talk about all the stats and everything in a second, but the Jets need 1 point over the next 2 games to clinch a playoff berth. Their next 2 games are tonight at Minnesota and then at Colorado on Thursday. At the defending Stanley Cup champions, who may win the game and win the Central. Now, they're still resting Makar and Manson, and not resting, but they're trying to heal them. So that's 1 point. Okay, so now they're on the second half of back-to-back after securing their second straight win, 4-2 at the Blackhawks last night. So, sorry, do I have that wrong? Sorry, let me just God, why did I mess this up here? But I think I've got wrong where they played last game. Let me just pull this up here. It sucks that this is happening on a game that I care about here. So let me just pull this up quickly here. So it was San Jose. So the Jets beat San Jose 6-2 last night, and the Wild won at Chicago 4-2 last night. So the Wild are dealing with a significant amount of injuries right now. They're 2 points back of Dallas and Colorado, and the Avs have a game in hand. Dallas also holds the tiebreaker. I think Minnesota is going to let go.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that's important in Minnesota is that they're healthy. We know that Eriksson Ek is not going to be available probably for the remainder of the season. We know that they're trying to get Kaprizov ready to go. Zuccarello is undisclosed right now with an injury. So it's very possible that Brodin and Dumba and Spurgeon don't play tonight. So now we're talking 3 of their top 4 defensemen. I think it's very possible that they don't. So what I see here is Minnesota making a conscious decision that they need to get healthy. Look, we're going to have to go to Dallas or to Colorado. It's most likely Dallas, but we need to get healthy. And the fact that all these guys are listed with undisclosed injuries, that's updated today, was kind of confirming to me that the Wild are going to let go. And the Jets need to win this game so they don't have to go into Colorado. They need 1 point. So I took the Jets at plus 100, and I would say it's my favorite spot on the board today, at least thus far, at least in the NHL. Let's just take a look at line history here over Bookmaker. There's been no movement. And from a total perspective, it opened up at 5.5 minus 120 to the over. There's been no movement there. So that's my feeling, is that they're going to let go. And if that's the case, I actually would probably have some interest in the over 5.5. But I need some confirmation that Minnesota is going to rest everybody. And then, of course, the line will move. But maybe it won't. Maybe they'll think Minnesota's incapable of offense with all these players out, which is possible. But the Jets at even money to me is the single best bet on the NHL card for me, Pete.
Wow. I hope you cash, and I might tail it by tonight. Makes a lot of sense, Jim.
The way I see it with this, I think it's a pretty simple, conscious decision that they're making here.
Right.
And LJ saying Wild 10-5 under at home versus West last 15. Again, like I look, they're not going to get much offense without the 3 of their top 4 defensemen. But if they're resting players, then the trends just aren't going to be as important as usual. So, and I'm not saying it won't roll, but yeah, so I'm on the Jets plus 100. The Wild injury reports, it's absolutely nasty, but they just want to be healthy. Look, this is a very good hockey team, the Wild. Their demise that I was believing in was very premature and wrong. This team, now they're losing Eriksson Ek. That's a devastating blow. He's a perfect playoff hockey player, but they've got gamers on this team, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get past the first round, but it's a priority to get healthy. So I'm on the Jets plus 100. That's my best bet on the NHL card today.
Wow. I might tail that in some capacity, Jimmy the Bag. All right, let's
roll on. Next up for us, Edmonton Oilers at Colorado Avalanche. What a game this is going to be. Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna just scan the card for other plays I want to add, because this one, obviously both teams winning, obviously both teams awesome offensively. I know that the game it's a big game, but not necessarily a game where it's like a super big game where they're going to like clamp down defensively. I feel like it's the kind of game where they're just going to be like, it matters a lot, but let's just put our firepower against theirs and see who wins. So I was thinking maybe over, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
Well, I have like a huge turning point in a year. You have a few of them, but if the Oilers can win the division, it's a pretty big turning point for me this year. They're playing spectacular hockey. They come in off their 7th straight win, 6-1 at San Jose on Saturday night. I know Dennis Garcia is licking his chops, ready to fade this squad, and I look very much forward to him doing that. It's part of the fun of capping with friends and colleagues, and because I believe in this Oilers team very much. You guys know I have futures on them: 15-1 to win the Cup, 7-1 to win the conference. Stuart Skinner has started playing very well, and I'm surprised that he has. 27, 14, and 5 on the year, 2.80 goals against average, 912 save percentage. Georgiev has been great this year, 2.54 goals against average, 919 save percentage. Edmonton 9-0 and 1 over their past 10, 40.7% power play, 40.7% power play over the last 10, 88.5% penalty killing. As DG says, every time Edmonton plays Colorado, all I see is a class difference. Without Cale Makar, I'm not sure if it will be as evident, but I understand. I understand that you believe they're not very good, and you could be richly rewarded, Dennis, fading them. Colorado 8-2-0, 27.3% power play, 76.9% penalty killing. So they're now 2 points back of the Knights with 2 games left, and they hold the tiebreaker. So obviously the Oilers have to win here, and then Seattle has to win 1 of 2 games against Vegas in regulation. Seattle on a run right now, but they've been playing minnows, but they're on a 5-game winning streak, and their offense looks pretty good right now. This Oilers team, we know how electric their offense is. We know that, but they've allowed 3 goals over their past 5 games. We all talked about the importance of Matthias Ekholm trade, how incredibly important it was. Matthias Ekholm is a plus 25 since joining the Oilers. So you prorate that over 82 games, that's a plus 108. Now we're talking about Larry Robinson and Bobby Orr. Oilers power play is 32.5%. They're about to break the record. The record is 31.9% by the 77-78 Canadians. Steve Shutt had 16 power play goals. Guy Lafleur had 15 power play goals. Leon Draisaitl has 31 power play goals this year. McDavid has 21 goals and 48 assists on the power play. He has 69 points on the power play this year. Avalanche coming off their 5th straight win, 5-4 in overtime at Anaheim on Sunday. It was a tricky spot for them, after beating the Kings and in a playoff type game, and then having to play the worst team in the league, and they got down 4-2. They had some bounces go against them. They're a really good hockey team. We know that. Defending Stanley Cup champs. They're tied with the Stars for first in the Central. They have 1 game in hand. The Stars hold the tiebreaker, and they're dealing with injuries right now. Cale Makar, Josh Manson, and Bowen Byram. Bowen Byram's been sick, but Makar and Manson they're resting or hurt and want to make sure they're healthy. Darren Helm, Arturi Lehkonen, and they're still waiting on Gabe Landeskog to make his season debut. This game means a ton to me in my futures, and I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm, adding to possible losses if they don't win the division. So I'm not going to move on this game, and I'm very interested in watching it.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing you can add for me. Winnipeg first period money line, plus 101, current line at Pinnacle. Winnipeg first period money line, plus 101. We'll make that official, Jimmy the Bag. Thank you for your breakdown of that game. I'm on that one.
I may want to double up.
So you don't really like the over here, do you, in Edmonton, Colorado?
This is another spot where I'm just so interested in watching this game. The Oilers have allowed 3 goals in their last 5 games, and they know that they have to win to put pressure on the Knights. This game starts a little bit earlier than the Knights game. Shout out to Julian Cesario in the house. Great to see you, man.
Brilliant.
This is a very important game for both squads. It's not quite as important for Colorado, but it is important because Dallas holds the tiebreaker. So, I do not expect this to be. It could be a wide open game, but with so much on the line and the Oilers playing so well defensively, I wouldn't want to slip up. But so I'm just off this spot here. We're almost done, Markel. We have 2 games left.
Okay. I might add a play on this game, during the other segments that we do. But, okay, I got you, Jimmy the Bag.
All right, let's rock. Next up for us is Vancouver Canucks at Anaheim Ducks at the Honda Center. And both teams have massive injury issues. Take it away, Pete.
Yeah, Vancouver and Anaheim. I mean, Anaheim's lost 11 in a row, right? Even worse than Chicago, almost. And Vancouver on a back-to-back shutout at LA last night. No more home games for them. So I guess I'd be thinking about, I don't know, Anaheim's at home as a dog. I guess that's the way I'd be leaning. Or is the Anaheim team total over if they've got anyone who can put something in the goal?
Anaheim played pretty well in that last spot against the Avs. They played pretty well. The Canucks are just, hammered with injuries. It's best to have Ekman Larson off the ice. So that's a, positive by subtraction. But Wolanin is hurt. Travis Dermott, Philip Romanek done for the year. Noah Juleson. So you have all these defensemen out. Podkolzin has an undisclosed injury, so he's day-to-day. So they're dealing with a ton of injuries right now. Rick Tocchet's also trying to get in the head of Kuzmenko. So he was benched again in the last game after an ugly shift where he wasn't, being accountable defensively. And Tocchet's just, so I don't know how that's going to handle Kuzmenko, but this offense needs Kuzmenko in the lineup. Vancouver 5-3-2 over the past 10, 15.2% power play, 82.1% penalty killing. Also, Thatcher Demko will be in that. That was Dahlia against the Kings. So Demko has been playing really well. And I'm not sure if Gibson is going to be in between in net. Mike M says Ducks in a 6-1 spot, but 7-0 to the over. So he's on the over 6.5. So, the Ducks and the Nucks are just, playing out the string. Will there be goals here? Probably, but Demko's been so good. This is a game that I just want no part of. I don't want to have action on it. I'd much rather be watching the Lakers game at this point and working on tomorrow's card. The Canucks, it makes me so angry what Benning has done to this squad, and to see that Ekman Larson and Tyler Myers are the worst Corsi defensive pairing in the entire NHL. And what are they getting paid? Like, $14 million combined, and it's all Benning's fault. And they're by far the worst by far the worst Corsi numbers. That makes me want to smash this computer and smash some other things and show up at Benning's house and get arrested. So I just don't want anything to do with fucking hockey. I fucking hate. All
right. Well, you can put this on for me, Jimmy the Bag. Anaheim, team total over 2.5 minus 153. Current line of Pinnacle. Anaheim, team total over 2.5 minus 153. I think they get there.
Demko's been spectacular of late.
Right, but this is like road game, end of the year. You know what I'm saying?
They'll be sloppy. The Canucks will be sloppy. Even though Rick Tocchet has made them much more accountable defensively, But I will cheer for that. I couldn't. Fuck the Canucks, man. Let's talk about this last game and get into baseball. I'm very excited about baseball. Seattle Kraken, Vegas Golden Knights. The final game on our card here in NHL. Pete, we're at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I don't know. Seattle, they're on a back-to-back. They won at Arizona yesterday. They've now won 5 in a row. Seattle, of course, has been great on the road. They're a dog here, and Vegas has a lot of injuries, right, coming in. They're pretty shorthanded. Eichel, Theodore, all those guys, and defensemen are out, all that stuff. And I don't know. I was thinking Seattle. Full game, first period as a dog. Do they still have energy left after yesterday? Why not, right?
That makes me so excited. I want to be live for this division. Vegas just keep proving me wrong. Now they have to do it without Shea Theodore and Zach Whitecloud, their captain Mark Stone, and their number one center Jack Eichel. Chandler Stevenson should be the number one center, and come playoff time, he'll play more than Jack Eichel, I imagine. But so. If the Knights win 2 games, it doesn't matter what the Oilers do. Kraken on second half back-to-back after securing their 5th straight win, 4-1 at Arizona last night. They've outscored the opposition 28-9 over those 5 games. But who's that come against? Coyotes, Canucks, and Blackhawks? I mean, you can only defeat who's in front of you, but I don't think we should get too carried away. But if I need Seattle, look, I need a lot. It's very, very, very unlikely that the Oilers win the division. But if they do, it's a big deal for me, and I don't want to compound losses or go all in on it. But line history wise here, Vegas opening up a bookmaker at minus 155. There's been no movement there, and totals wise, it's opened up over 6 minus 120. All I can do now is be very excited about your lean here. And
I mean, Seattle's in the playoffs, but they could overtake the Kings, right?
I thought they were stuck with 94.
It's going to be tough, but mathematically they're still in it. So does that mean they're just going to resign themselves to the wild card, or are they going to try to get that?
Oh, Jesus. Kraken already at 100 points. Wow. I think the Kraken are very excited to be playing at this level of hockey right now. I didn't realize they were that close to the Kings. Thank you for mentioning that. But even if they weren't, that they want to go into the playoffs on a 7-game winning streak. They want to be able to beat teams like the Vegas Golden Knights, who they will assume they'll have to beat to get into the playoffs. So I think the Kraken are going to be going with complete effort here. I did not realize that the Kings were vulnerable. That is a wild revelation that I did not have. Wow. So the Kraken have the regulation wins. So the Kraken win the next 2 games. The Kraken are, well, then you have to play the Oilers or the Knights. Oh, but you know what? That would probably ensure that they play the Golden Knights. So, who would you rather play? The Colorado or Dallas or the Knights? Probably the Knights right now. That's wildly interesting. That's really, really exciting. Thank you for mentioning that. I want the Kraken to take care of. Look, my guy saying max bet Kraken. LJ saying Kraken 25-15 against spread, 9-2 straight up last 11 on the road, averaging 5 goals last 6. Best bet. That makes me so excited. If the Kraken can beat the Knights up, we will. There'll be bottles popping, but I will wait till Thursday to pop them bottles. So I've got too much invested in the Kraken performing well against the Golden Knights here for my future. So I have no action on this game.
Yeah, and I would lean under, but I'm gonna hold off for now, and maybe a first period under. I would lean first period under maybe, but I think I'll hold off for now.
Billy Friedrich, I know what you're saying. He says Vegas grinding my bankroll down to a nub. I'm not fading them tonight. All right, let's review all action. Washington, Boston Bruins, no action. Canes puck line for me, -115. Very excited about it. Loshak's on the first period under 2 at -125. I wonder if that Buffalo Sabres, New Jersey Devils under 7 is a spot I move on. There's question marks beside it right now. I'm going to roll with you guys on the Flyers -1. I love the cap. Excellent work, Pete. I'm going to roll with you on that one. That was not on my radar. Leafs team total under 2.5 at +135 for Pete. He's also on the Lightning -1 at +110. I will just cheer that on for you. I wonder if the under 6.5 in Chicago-Pittsburgh is a look, and it just might be. But I'm going to need a little bit more time. I love that you moved on the Jets first period. I'm interested in joining you there. I mean, if I'm right about the motivation, and that's what we're doing, right? We're scorecasting. We're trying to figure out your angle. So, but I think I might join you on that one. Then Oilers Avalanche, no action for us. And Pete is on the Ducks team total over 2.5 at -153 in Vancouver, Anaheim, and then no action for us in Seattle, Vegas. That is your NHL card for today. Only 2 more after this shows where we'll talk regular season NHL hockey. And then
you know what, Timmy the Bag? Let's have a little fun here. Let's double up on Anaheim. I'm going to take a -1 +246. -1 +246. Current line at Pinnacle.
Ducks -1 and +246. And last year, I got out the gate with 17 of 19 winners in the playoffs, and it was one of my best runs of my life. But I'd had a bad regular season. So it's similar to this year. So I hope I get hot in the playoffs. I'm very excited about the playoffs, and I'm also very excited about having a little bit of the pressure off NBA, NHL playoffs, and we can focus more time on baseball, which is what I can't wait to do. And we have MLB ahead of us. Let's start talking MLB. Switch over to Major League Baseball because our man Pete opened up his season 3-1. I'm right now 11-10, so that's fine. That's I just don't want to dig a hole to get started. But, Pete, you were very cautious in your first show Friday. I'm excited to break down this card with you today. Raven in the Desert in the house, +395 on the Flyers over in the Canucks game. The Flyers, the over, and the over in the Canucks game. Sorry, do that better. Let's get to work. Pistol Pete Loshak. And we start at 6:10 p.m. Eastern with the New York Yankees 6-4, 2-2 on the road at the Cleveland Guardians, 7-4, 2-2 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. So let me just get this all up here. So we'll start with the weather in this spot. And then do I have I think I took out the cash flow. Let me get the cash flow going here as well. And got that up. Okay, so we're rolling. First off, weather-wise here, 69 Fahrenheit, 10.2 miles per hour left to right. It starts out left to right, but then it becomes out. So out to right field, and it moves more and more until it's legitimately out to right field. But it does die down a bit, 10.2 to 8.6 to 7.2 miles per hour out to right field. Let's bring up the cash flow as well. First off, with line history. Oh, shit, that's switched. Sorry, got too many things up here. For line history in this spot. Move over to baseball. I'm sorry that I didn't have it all up in Adam, and I do now. So we have Cole versus Gaddis, and Gaddis coming off a real legit start. And it was his first real legit. Now I got Pinnacle rolling. Beautiful. So this opened up with the Yankees -152. They're now -165. They got up to -171 at 10:36 this morning. So there has been 6 cents of buyback. From a total perspective, this opened up at 7.5. It is now at 8, and it's at 8, slightly juiced to the over. Let's see what we're dealing with here from the cash side of things. We have 92% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the New York Yankees. That is wild. Totals wise, 73% of tickets and 78% of cash on the over. Garrett Cole has had 2 starts this year. His first start, 6 innings, 3 hits, no one runs, 11 Ks, 2 walks, and the 5-0 home win over the Giants. It was beautiful. His second start was very good too. 6 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, 3 walks, and a 4-2 home win over the Phillies. Hunter Gaddis, 6'6", 260-pounder, went 3 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk, and a 9-4 win at Seattle. You know, his struggles continued, but then he went to Oakland and had his first good start, which I'm sure is a big confidence builder for him. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned run, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and a 6-4 extra inning win at the A's. Pistol Pete Loshak, Cleveland, Ohio for Yankees Guardians. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, Cole is legit awesome, especially at home. And Gaddis, I'm not a believer, but at this line, it would be Cleveland or nothing for me. Not sure if I want to bet it or make it official. Haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but it's got to be Cleveland or nothing for me.
I wish the line wasn't moving. Then I would be on Cleveland immediately.
Yeah, it's early yet, Jim.
I was hoping to get on Cleveland, but I also don't know if I can do it. Bo Jackson says Cole's 11-1 on the road against the AL Central. Mike M says gas can Gaddis today. Balls will be flying around more than a sleepover at Jose's house.
Yeah, I'm not going to pull the trigger on it, but I would love to take Cleveland at this line.
Who is sleepovers? Brown 2 says Yanks team total over 2.5, first 5 plus 130. Billy Friedrich says Red Sox first 5. Sorry. Let me copy and paste that for the Red Sox game. Yeah, I don't have the balls here to go up against Cole. And I think that Gaddis did get some confidence, even though we'll see if that will help him. Also, Gaddis's first 2 starts were on the road. Now he comes home. BJ says Cole does own the Guardians. Yeah, I guess I can't pull the trigger. BJ says they don't. Chris Carter says believe this Yankee team finished only better than Baltimore in the AL East this year. I have their season win total under, which I still have confidence in. I don't have the balls. Troy Torrance says Gaddis pitches look stale to me even when he pitched well versus Oakland. This is not a spot that appeals to me, Pete. I guess I'm not going to be able to pull any kind of a trigger here. I'm just trying to find the Red Sox. There it is right there. We do have a say hey play of the day from Jose, who will be joining us. And I'd also like Jose to come in for the Red Sox game as well, Jose, if you don't mind. So, but no action for me in Yankees, Guardians, anything for you?
No, I'm going to pass.
Browns Hughes says Gaddis will get shelled here. Says I'm a fan and watch every game. This is going to be a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yankees team total over or first 5 team total over. I certainly would not have anything against that. I mean, yeah, the more we talk about it, first 5 team total over for the Yankees, which would be 2.5 at plus 100. Yeah, not bad. I mean, that's very tempting, Jim.
Well, we have time to discuss it. Troy Torrance also looking at Yanks first 5 team total over. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, and we can revisit these situations. Here we go. Yeah. Now, Flush Allen says San Francisco Giants bets on Pub Sports Radio off to a 4-0 start. Let's see if I can keep it going. God, I love this. I'm so fortunate to hang out with this group. And the group, we're growing and getting stronger. And Matty Ice says Yanks first 5 minus a half is on his card.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take the Yankees first 5 team total over. That's at Pinnacle 2.5 plus 107. Yanks first 5 team total over 2.5 plus 107. We'll make that official. Thank you, Matty Ice.
Team total over 2.5 at plus 100.
Plus 107.
Oh God! Wow.
At Pinnacle, yeah.
107. You are locked in. All right. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. We head over to Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Charm City that I love. I could go as far as saying I love Baltimore. I do. I think it's so much fun. Let's go to the line history here. Baltimore opening up at minus 151. Pete, they're now minus 190.
Yeah.
39-cent move to the Baltimore Orioles. This total opened up at 8. It's now at 8.5. Wow. see if the weather works with that one. And it does. It's blowing out 75 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 10.1 miles per hour to right field. And it stays blowing out to right field, but does die down to 7.3 miles per hour. Piker, by the way, saying Yankees are too public. You might win, but the juice you're paying versus expected value is wrong. But Matty I says, love being on the same page with Pistol Pete Loshak. Piker says, I've never seen the Baltimore Orioles this public of a side before. Christopher Comentini on the O's run line, gifted cartel on the other side on the A's +1.5. Let's take a look at said cash flow and see what we are dealing with. Let's move to all markets. I'll make everything easier. Here we go. So in this spot, we have 88% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the Baltimore Orioles. Total wise, we have 43% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the over. BJ says Orioles run line or pass, but I'm not laying -190 with Grayson Rodriguez. Mr. Heat says can't trust Grayson yet. The number 7th ranked prospect in Major League Baseball. Grayson Rodriguez, 11th overall pick out of high school in 2018. In 2022 in AAA Norfolk, he was 6-1 with a 2.20 ERA, a 0.93 WHIP. He was awesome. 97 strikeouts and 69 2/3, 21 walks. They've done a nice job making sure that the time was right for him to come into the show. Kyle Muller on the other side. Oh, Grayson's had one start this year, by the way. He went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk, and a 5-2 loss at Texas. He allowed 2 runs in the first inning, and then he settled down and didn't let anything else. Kyle Muller's had 2 starts so far this year. First, he went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 Ks, 1 walk, and a 2-1 home win over the Angels. Then he went 5 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks, and a 6-4 extra inning loss at home to the Guardians. That wasn't on him. The Orioles are smashing lefties, smashing them. Last year, they could not do this, but we know they have a very young nucleus that is, very highly thought of. In 2022, they were 24th against lefties, 224, 663 OPS. This year, they are 5th against lefties, 258, 866 OPS. Take it away here, Pete. A's, O's, and Camden.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to. I don't know why everyone. I don't love the spot for Rodriguez, but I like him in general. And Oakland, this is a weak lineup in general. And I was ready to come on the show and give Baltimore first 3 or first 5 and maybe -1, but the line is just moved so much that there might be value on the other side. I'm a believer in the Baltimore lineup right now, as you said, against lefties. And, in general, I am a believer in Rodriguez right now. Don't like taking him in his second start, though, necessarily after a decent first start. I don't know. I like Baltimore here. I understand why people in the comment section are liking Oakland, especially after the line move. But I like Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't want it at this number. I'm very comfortable staying off of it. Raleigh Bunn says, a beautiful day in the city. I'm actually down the street from the stadium. I love that area, man. Love that area. I just this doesn't appeal to me. This doesn't interest me. I expect Grayson to pitch well, and I expect Kyle to be okay. But this offensive weather, market moving to the over, the bigger bets on the over. I'm off this spot, Pete. This does not interest me to get moving here. So are we moving on?
I guess so.
Okay, well, we can come back and discuss
it. I guess so. All right.
Let's move on. 6:35 p.m. Eastern, the Houston Astros. Sorry, let me make sure that I'm not okay. Good. Houston Astros is next up for us. 5-6, 2-2 on the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates. 6-4, 2-2 home at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And this is okay. What you did last year with the Pirates, we all saw, and you've done it for years with them. But we all were very conscious of it. How much value they had at home, how their offense was so much, how the unders were hitting, but how you could just trust this team so much more at home. And let's take a look at the weather first, and then we'll go into the line movement here. 71 Fahrenheit, 11.7 miles per hour to left field. 11.7 dies down to 7.9 by the end of the game. But the offensive weather here in Pittsburgh. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one as well. Javier versus Helen Mitch Keller. Line-wise, we have The Astros opening up at minus 162. They got up to minus 175. That was at 9:38 a.m. They're now down to minus 163. Beautiful image of Helen Mitch Keller there. Thank you for popping that up, Jose. This total opened up at 8, minus 111 to the over. There's been a 3-cent move to the over now at minus 114. Barry Smith says, come on, Jimmy, grow some balls. If they grew any bigger, Barry, I'd rest them on the bridge of your nose and I would tape them down. I would tape them down on the bridge of your nose and I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't eat anything. I would put the heat up really high so there'd be some drip into your mouth. Christian
across the nose. Oh!
Christian Javier going up against Mitch Keller. Javier has had 2 starts thus far this year. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and a 6-3 home win over the White Sox. In his second start, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, no walks, and an 8-2 home win over the Tigers. Mitch Keller, 4 2/3 in his first start. It was opening day, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 8 Ks, 4 walks, and a 5-4 win at the Reds. In his second start, he was very good. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 2 walks, and a 4-1 win at the Red Sox. Let's just take a quick look at the cash flow for this spot. 38% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Seems like there's some sharp action there. The line's not moving. Total-wise, 33% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the under. 33 and 85 on the under. And let's just go back and look at that once more. We have no movement there either, but that's a lot of money on the under. Take it away. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. Astros, Pirates.
Yeah, my leans on this one were to the Pirates and to the under. It's not great that O'Neal Cruz is out now for Pittsburgh, but yeah, at this line, there's Noli knows liking the under. It was kind of an obvious way that I'd be thinking on this one. Definitely leaning under and definitely leaning Pittsburgh Pirates. And I guess I'll make at least one of them an official play, Jimmy the Bag. Javier is legit good. 2 home starts this year. Keller, I would rate him significantly lower, but with the line, I think there's still some value on Pittsburgh at this current line here.
If you were going to move on the under, would you want a full game or would you want to first 5 it?
I would want a full game.
And if you were going to move on the Pirates, would you move on at first 5 or would you move on at full game?
Definitely full game.
Troy Torrance says Pirates due for some major regression. Nolino says Keller is looking nice, velocity up. I agree. Hunter Engelhardt says Astros are hitting 271 over the last 7 days, and Keller is not the guy to slow them down. That sort of correlates with Mike M's thoughts. Houston bats came to life yesterday. I think we see it continue today. Alfred says he can't fade the Astros here.
Yeah, that's tough. But I'll do it. I'm seeing at Pinnacle. At Heritage right now, plus 154. So, Astros are obvious. Should be a favorite, legit favorite. Not huge value, but we're having some fun here, Jimmy the Bag. I'll take a Pittsburgh money line plus 154, current line at Heritage.
You got it locked in. Pirates plus 154. I have interest in the under as well.
And also, no run first inning is tempting as well.
I have interest in the under as well. Okay. All right. I have interest in the under as well. Keller. So Keller's first 2 starts have come at Cincinnati and at Boston. He could be very good in Pittsburgh. Don't you think this year he could be very good?
Yeah, I'm not particularly down on him. I just, it's Javier is legitimately excellent, and obviously Houston in general is a significantly, superior team for sure, especially with Cruz out. Not great, but yeah.
Our guy Justin McElvey is going to the Pirates game. His first big boy bet of the year on Reynolds over 1.5 bases, putting $500 on it. Man, that's exciting, dude. That's really, really exciting. Have fun, Justin. Do it up and have fun, man. I love that ballpark, man. We have a Piker saying no run first inning. Sounds more appealing.
Mike M saying yes, run first inning spot. Okay, okay. Depends on the line, obviously. Yeah.
I try not to care about what happened yesterday or what's been happening and take every game as a fresh opportunity. And Sharpie in the house has joined me on Balking Dead. We got 2K props bet, and we got 6 aces to talk about. That's at 3:10 p.m. Eastern. Love it, Sharpie. I'm interested in this under. I'm interested in this number. Untangle Heart says Keller's numbers are 333 average against runners on and 364 runners in scoring position. He says, I know only 2 starts, but not great with Astros team who find a way to get on base. I hear you. But, we haven't seen Mitch at home. And he's seen, he was the opening day starter and his velocity's up. And I think I would tend to a full game personally, Troy, if I was going to move on it here. But I'm not sure yet. I'm going to need a little bit more time. Mike M says 6 straight yes runs first inning versus AL West for Pittsburgh. Okay, let's move on to the next spot on the board and bring on the producer of the show here. Our guy, the star of Say Hey Plays, popping off at 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursday, he's here with me. Please welcome a man known for his sweet tea tits and his baseball acumen. Please welcome Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. Annoying night last night. I keep getting on the wrong end of 1-0s, but it's okay. We move on. Long season. And excited to talk ball.
Let's go. We have the Boston Red Sox, Jose's baseball team, 5-5, 3-1 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays, now 10-0, 7-0 at home. Billy Friedrich already gave us the Red Sox first 5 team total under 1.5 at -125. Already gave us that. Let's take a look at the situation here at the Trop in St. Petersburg. We have Garrett Whitlock on the bump. He's had 2 starts in the minors, one at AA, one at AAA. AA Portland, he was dynamite. 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 8 Ks, 1 walk at how do you pronounce it? I don't want to screw it up. Worcester, thank you. AAA Worcester, 4 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, and 1 walk. Let's take a look at the line history here. Sky Dragon saying Boston money line here. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at the line history for this spot and the cash flow and just set a very quick table and hear what Jose has to say about his Red Sox in action with Whitlock going up against McClanahan. Tampa Bay opening up at -175 at Pinnacle. They're now -174. They got down to -164. So clear, perceived at this point, sharp action on the Red Sox. It's total open up at 7.5, -106 to the under. It's now -112 to the under. We have a 6-cent move to the under. Let's take a look at the cash flow on this spot. We have 48% of the tickets and 87% of the cash on the Boston Red Sox.
Fuck my life.
63% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on the over, and there's been a 6-cent move to the under. If you're just judging it by the market, Whitlock's going to have a good start, and the Red Sox are live. McClanahan has gone 6 innings in his first start, and he looked very good. 4 hits, no earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk, the 4-0 win at home over the Tigers. Then you took him outside of the Trop, and he did not look good. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 4 walks, and a 7-2 win at the Nationals. The Red Sox are hitting lefties exactly like they did last year, to a T. Last year, 265, 759 OPS. That was good for 8th in the league. This year, 265, 758 OPS. That's good for 13th in the league. Here we go, Jose Bouquet, your Red Sox in action. Do you believe in them? Do you like them? What are your plans?
Yeah, I'm taking Red Sox money line. That might not surprise anyone. I was on Red Sox team total over 3.5 last night. The bats don't show up. They were hitting lefties surprisingly well to start this season. Like you mentioned, they hit them well last year, but it was on a pace that was kind of, it was shocking. But they've rejiggered their whole lineup, and all their best hitters are lefties, which is obviously an issue, especially because they faced all the lefties yesterday. They faced Shane McClanahan today. There's a series against the Angels coming up with all lefties there too. So I think Alex Cora made it known like 2 days ago, like, yeah, we're going to face all these lefties, and getting shut out by all of them yesterday, I think will hopefully get the guys going there, get some camaraderie. I think the Rays win streak finally ends here. I took the Red Sox full game money line. I also am looking, and I think I'm going to make official here for the show as well, and for Say Hey Plays purposes, the first 5 under 4 -120. I've bet like 3 or 4 of them so far this year, like all in the first 2 days. All of them lost for me. So I was just like, you know what? I'm kind of out. So I'm going to bet the under here. Shane McClanahan has pitched well against the Red Sox before, pitched well against them twice last year, 2 earned runs and 1 earned run in both appearances. Whitlock, he was hurt last year as well. That was why he didn't start the season this year up with the team. He was rehabbing, and then he got like hip surgery or whatever, and now he's been saying this whole offseason or his whole spring training now that he's been feeling great. He's pitching without pain, walking around without pain. Pitched against the Rays early in the season last year when I assume he was healthy. 4 innings, no earned run, 7 Ks. So I'm going to take the first 5 under here, and I believe in the Red Sox bullpen, so I think they can get the late dub.
What was the Red Sox money line plus 154?
I got them at plus 159 at our friends at Bet Online.
Plus 159. And your first 5 under 4, have you put that out yet?
No, yeah, I have not bet them out yet.
Give you the best line available. I'll shop for the best line available. DC Capper on the full game over. Can't wait to hear Pete's thoughts on this one. Pete, take it away, Red Sox Rays.
Well, I mean, I know that a lot of people don't necessarily have first threes. Do you have first threes at Bet365, Jim?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take as an official play Rays first 3 minus 160. Rays first 3 minus 160. That's the line at Caesars. It's you know, I'm a believer in McClanahan until further notice, which is probably going to be a long time. And you know, Whitlock, impressive. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 0-0. Also thinking about no run in the first inning as well. And I definitely am fine with the first 5 under as well. Anyone who wanted to take that, but it's just still value according to the way I look at things with Tampa Bay first 3 minus 160 current line at Caesars.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
You fucking kidding me? Minus 160 with McClanahan starting? Come on. You fucking kidding me?
What do you think of the first 5 under 4 that Jose's on?
I like it too. It's just that, yeah, I like it. The big question mark is Whitlock. Everything indicates that he should be okay. Nice rehab outing is definitely promising. You know, definitely is a different deal when you are you know, in the majors again. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely be leaning that way as well, and no run first inning as well.
Very, very, very interesting. I like it. And Barry, just so like, you know, just we got to make sure everyone. The Pirates are not I do not consider the Pirates a public underdog. They have 38% of the tickets have been bet on them. So for me, a public needs to be 60% of the tickets. Having the bigger bets on them and the less tickets does not make a team public. So I do not, you know, ticket count to me is what makes something public or not public. So I just want to make that clear. 38% of the tickets are on the Pittsburgh Pirates, just 38. I like Jose's look on the first 5 under 4. I can understand the trepidation around it, but you really believe in John Garcia says, anyone know if Lucrative Larry is all right? I don't know if Lucrative Larry. I know that Freddie Fortune doing really well. Married, as a spa, as a home with his wife. He's doing great, Freddie Fortune. But I don't know about Lucrative Larry. First 5 under 4, I'm very interested in. I think that will. I think I may move on it right now. Hunter Engard says, what Sox team total first 5 and full game? Jose, can you grab the first 5 team total there? I'd like to see what's
1.5 plus 105. So
1.5 plus 105.
I would like that look. My only issue is that the Red Sox getting demoralized by lefties yesterday has kind of demoralized me.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you.
And a reminder to everyone, Adam Duvall, fucking wrist just blew up, so he's out for a while, like 4 to 6 weeks.
All right. Locked in here. Rays first 3 of mine. I want to see what they offer. I'm just curious to see what the first 3 is at my book, but we're going to move on here. And Jose is coming back here for the say hey play of the day.
It feels like Pete and I are about to be against each other on a lot of stuff today.
You know, I've done my best for years on end with baseball, and each year it's wound up okay, but things are changing fast, Jimmy the Bag. No guarantees at all this year, other than I'm going to try my best again.
Well, Pete hates us young cappers, Jimmy. He always keeps us young cappers down, He says that you young whippersnappers betting dogs. And by the way, Jimmy, you haven't asked Pete the question yet about dogs and the AI and the computers and all that stuff, the fear in his eyes.
I know. I what I wanted to do, I've made it this because we have so many games to cap. I'd like him to join us Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to, when he in a real relaxed situation, pick his brain for as long as possible on it. That's my plan. I kind of switcch gears because
bad news, Jimmy. It ain't nothing nice. I'll tell you that.
See, I told you, Jose. You don't see it.
I don't know if you really want to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
I want to hear it.
You don't see it. I see.
I don't know if you do.
I see fear in Pete's eyes.
Look at it.
Is it fear or just like we may as well live for the now because who knows? Yeah, I mean it's yeah. Those are my eyes. What do they say? I don't even know what I'm looking at my eyes right now. I have no fucking clue what's behind them, and I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I have no fucking clue.
Okay. So we're gonna spend some time on it on Sunday. I will invite Pete to our Sunday show, and I want him to dive into it. Let's move on. So I'm interested in that first 5 under 4. Sorry, I missed a thing from Troy asking is right here. It says isn't the sharp money on the over? I don't have I just care what Pinnacle opened it up the lineup. But if we could go to, and they opened it up at 7:43 this morning, so it's not a fair representation. Bet Online though opened it yesterday at 2:24, and they opened it up at 7.5 juice to the under. So there was never a 6.5 or anything like that here. So no, I don't see that as the situation at this point personally. But clearly we see big bets on the over and the line not showing that at all. So but let's keep rolling. And what did Sharpie? I think I missed something that Sharpie said there. Let me get the where did I gotta find it here. Said those lefties yesterday had an ump calling strikes in the dirt. So okay, let's keep rolling. Razor said, Pete, he had to tell the wife to leave the room. She almost got lost in your eyes.
Yeah, I have the Kavorka, which is yet another piece of evidence that I'm more Kramer-esque than I want to be.
Fair. Don't know what that is, but fair.
Okay, let's go. Let's move on, Pete. Let's move on. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Miami Marlins 4-7, 1-3 on the road. Oh, that made me laugh. Okay. Philadelphia Phillies 4-6, 3-1 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at the weather first and foremost. I've had the pleasure of watching baseball games in this beautiful ballpark. I've seen the Jays play in this beautiful ballpark a couple times. It's just magic. 74 Fahrenheit, 11.9 miles per hour out to right field. Goes down to 8.6. So it's blowing out. It's offensive weather. It's beautiful. It's cloudy tonight, but still a nice night. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Move over here and get it up. And Adam, Luzardo versus Nola. I know what I want here. But I want to talk it out with you guys here. And it probably doesn't make sense with this market, so I maybe won't be able to bet it. But Phillies opened up minus 149. This came out yesterday at 2:58 p.m. It's now minus 144. From a total perspective, this opened up at 7.5, a juice to the under. It's now 8. It's still juice to the under, but it's moved up a half run. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot here. We have 58% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the Philadelphia Phillies. Why on earth is the market slightly moving towards the Marlins? But this is why we do this show. If we didn't do this show, if we didn't study the market and everything, I'd be on the Phillies in Nola expecting a bounce back start from it. And maybe we still get that. So maybe we can figure it out still getting it here. Total wise, 35% of the tickets and 77% of the cash is on the under. And this has gone up to 8. So some tricky situation here. We all believe in Jesus Luzardo. That is clear. His first start, we cashed in the under, first 4 under with him. First 5 under 4, I should say. 5 2/3, 2 hits, no one runs, 5 Ks, 4 walks, and 2-1 win at home over the Mets. Then his next start was also at home. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 10 Ks, 1 walk. He was electric. The question is here, will he be able to be electric on the road? Razor Sharp Picks says the over 8 yesterday was a gambler's first glance winner. Says too easy. Wonder what he wants to do here with Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola in his first start was bad. It was an opener in Texas. He went 3 2/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, and 2 walks, 11-7 loss. His second start was better, but still not great. It was a quality start, though. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk, and the 4-2 loss of the Yankees. The Phillies, much like the Red Sox, have very similar numbers. And we're going to start trusting the 2023 numbers, but I think at this point it's still important to talk 2022 as well as 2023. 2022 versus lefties, they were 11th in the league, 266 with a 760 OPS. And in 2023 versus lefties, they were 290 this year, I should say. They're 295 with a 781 OPS. And they're smashing lefties out of the gate in Major League Baseball. The weather's been warmer now lately, but that's only 11th. That's good for 11th in the league. So my thoughts here, Pete, and I have not bet this, was I want to back Nola to be better than he's been and for Luzardo to be worse than he's been. But I also want everything to correlate here, and seeing 85% of the money on the Phillies and the market moving towards the Marlins means the Phillies I can't bet them. So then what do I do here? Do I start moving towards a possible under when we have big bets on the under and we've seen this total move up to 8? I mean, I can't do that either. So what do I do? Do I do nothing? Take it away for us here, Pete. Marlins, Phillies.
Well, people are talking about how it's tough to back the Marlins with their lineup, and in general, that is true. I wanted to pull the trigger on maybe Miami first 3 at like plus 110. Luzardo is obviously, his first 2 starts at home where he's not quite that good, I don't think, but I think he should be, and obviously I think Nola is going to be significantly better very soon, maybe this game. But at a dog line, I think there's a little bit of value of Miami early. These baseball lines are tough, Jim.
Yeah, interesting. Joe Yurkovich says Sharps no Luzardo is just as good as Nola. They move this line. I wouldn't say Nola's a better pitcher than Luzardo right now. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I just think that you get Nola back home. I think we'll see improvement. And then you get Luzardo out of Miami, and I think you'll see regression. But I can't go up against either of these spots here.
No run in the first is also pretty tempting for this one, too.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Unfortunately, I've got to stay off of it, and this is one I wanted. Noli knows is on the under. We talk about ROI when the line goes against you, the line goes with you. Last year, when lines went against Noli, his ROI went up. I mean, that's a guy. That's an elite capper right there.
But I told you that happened. That's been my results for a few years as well, Jim.
And it happened to me in NHL last year. It's changed the way I gamble.
And there's reason for that, which is it's there's a ton of stuff going on that even I didn't know about. Pretty scary shit, Jimmy the Bag. But my point is that all this stuff is important, but it's a brave new world out here in sports betting, Jim.
Do you want to touch on any of that tonight, or can we just do that do you want to do that on Sunday night?
I don't want to touch on it on Sunday night either. Give me the bag. I will touch on this one here. Oh, God. You know what? I'm going to hold off on no run the first inning.
All right. Okay. I will get it out of him on Sunday night, though. Trust me.
Oh, Trot Wam likes it. Oh, shit.
All right.
So maybe I should take it.
Hunter Engelhardt says his first start outside. Says he would rather go first half under or first 3 under here, but he is off. Looking forward to have Hunter Engelhardt on the show as well. All right, let's move on. And Hunter says after what they did to Sandy yesterday, let's move on. 7:07 p.m. Eastern. The Detroit Tigers at the Toronto Blue Jays.
Sorry. You know what, Jimmy the Bag? You can give me no run in the first inning. Minus 130 current line at Caesars. Okay, it's 136 at Pinnacle, so that's a little bit nice to see. I'll take that. Miami, if they score a run, whatever. No run first inning, minus 130 current line at Caesars.
Lou Chase Fox says he loves getting touched on Sundays. And look at this, Pete, a OG low bagger, one of the real ones here. We have Flipper 13.
Oh man, Flipper 13. Huge shout out to you, Flipper 13. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing okay. Great to fucking see your name up there, Flipper 13. I'll make a joke or two for you on Twitter in the next few months. Hell yeah, shout out to you, Flipper 13. All right.
The home opener in Toronto at the Rogers Center here. We have already a look from our guy, Mr. Heat, says Vladdy Day on Manning. I have some real concern that Manning could be excellent here tonight. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be absolutely electric. And I'm very interested in what Matt Manning does here. And I think he is a big game pitcher. And this is a big game. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. They are trying to get the roof to be open. It's not going to be open, I assume. But there's been a groundswell of support to open the roof. This opened up at minus 254. It's now minus 267. We have a 13-cent move to the Blue Jays. From a totals perspective, this opened up at 8.5. It has moved to 9. A half-run move to the over. Alfred says price is too high for the Jays here. So let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. This is going to be fun. We have 89% of the tickets on the Blue Jays and 31% of the cash. Wild. Big bets have come in on the Detroit Tigers. And at this number, I don't blame them. Total wise, we have 63% of tickets and 62% of the cash on the over. And it's, moved up from 8.5 to 9. Matt Manning has had one start this year. One start. He went 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and a 6-3 win at Houston. It was impressive. BJ says this looks like a very advantageous spot for the Blue Jays. Got to go Blue Jays red line. They're passing this spot. I think this potent lineup will touch Manning, especially with this being the first or the opener. But he says he is going to pass, though. Let's go to Manoah. Manoah had that terrible first start of the year, 3 1/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 Ks, 2 walks, and a 10-9 win at the Cardinals. Then he was spectacular in 7 innings, 1 hit, 5 Ks, 4 walks, no earned runs, and a 3-0 win at the Royals. Take it away for us here, Pistol Pete Loshak, the Blue Jays home opener.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Manning could get touched. But I'm going to make Detroit first 3 innings plus 185 an official play. The line is just too high. Blue Jays are a way better team, which is why the line is where it is. For me, the bet would be Detroit or nothing. I don't know how many ways I want to take them, but we'll start with first 3 innings plus 185 Detroit Tigers.
First 3 plus 185 for Loshak. Quinimus thinks Manning gets touched up. I think Manning could be excellent here, personally. But I don't know exactly how to handle this. Do you agree in the market move from 8.5 to 9 in the full game total?
No. I kind of was like an under, but whatever.
So was I. But is this a point where when you see the movement to the over that you don't want to go underneath it?
No. When I see the movement to the over, my thought is no fucking clue what's going on, just like before I saw that move with the market.
And what do you think of, you have the first 3 for the Red Sox. By the way, your first 3 is 50 cents better than the one they're offering at Bet365. 50 cents.
That's almost impossible. What? It's 130. Are you looking at the right game, Jim?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You see, when you ask me what's going on with the market, I have no idea. But when you ask me what's going on with the games Jim's looking at, I can make educated guesses.
That was bad.
I can make educated guesses.
Wow, it's a better line here. Plus 195.
Yeah, I'll take that then. How about that? Plus 195. How about that?
If you were going to make a free play on the total of the first 3 at 2.5, I think it's under.
Under, of course. Yeah.
God, I think it's under. Sky Dragon says over. I mean, full game over, but what about early? I like what you're doing with the Tigers here. Just taking a couple looks at things. The Tigers' first 3 plus a half is minus 110.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty advantageous, don't you think, to get the tie involved on a pick'em? I mean, that's I imagine 0-0 after 3 and you're getting paid. The first 5 plus a half for the Red Sox is plus 145. And Skydragon saying Manoah can't be trusted. I'm interested in both of those spots. I'm interested in. I'm going to move on the Tigers early. I'm just not exactly sure how I'm going to handle it. First 3 and first 5. I also think that it could be a under 2.5 in the first 3. So I'm going to be moving on this game. Noli Knows says Manoah looks fatter. There's been some complaints about him not being in shape the way they want him to be here. But I'm going to get involved. This line's ridiculous to me. But early. First 3, possibly a first 5 plus a half. But early for me on the Tigers.
Alfred 44, happy birthday from last week. I had a good day last week. Sorry I gave you a losing birthday pick. Happy birthday again, Alfred 44.
Let's keep rolling for us. 7:10 p.m. Eastern is next up for us. San Diego Padres at New York Mets, Citi Field in Queens, New York. We have 2 lefties on the hill. Weathers versus Peterson. Let's take a look at the weather first to get rolling here in Queens. We have, take me a second here, 70 Fahrenheit, 13 miles per hour to right field. Wow, goes down to 11.1, but still double-digit weather blowing out. Move on this. Bo Jackson says, none of y'all going to the Jays home opener? No, I can't. There's no way I could go to that home opener and be prepared for tomorrow's show. Like, it's impossible. You know how boozed up I'd be, screaming and yelling, slapping ass. Let's go over to the line history here for this one. This one opened up with the Mets at minus 133. That's exactly where they are right now. This total opened up at 8.5 and has moved to 9. Go over to the cash flow here for this one. We have 44% of tickets and 89% of cash on the Mets, but the line is not moving. Total-wise, 49% of tickets and 87% of cash on the over. And the line is moving. We have Ryan Weathers in his first start of the year at home versus Arizona. Went 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, 1 walk, and a 5-4 win at home. It was okay. Peterson's had 2 starts. The first one was good. 5 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run, 1 homer, 5 Ks, 1 walk, and a 2-1 loss in Miami. His second one was poor. 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 5 Ks, 5 walks, and 7-6 loss at Milwaukee. Both teams are middling against lefties, and they're doing it again this year. So if we talk about the Mets in 2022, they were 246 with a 716 OPS for lefties, good for 14th. This year they're 250, 756, which is better, but it's good for 15th. Padres versus lefties, 245, 705 OPS last year. This year 243, 755 OPS, 17th. I'm with Noli. I agree with this market move to the over. I agree with it. Barry Smith. Oh, sorry. Says Phillies don't do well on Tuesday. Sorry. Padres bats too unpredictable, says Rick J. And Hunter Engelhart on the Padres first half money line at plus 120. Take it away for us here, Pete. Padres, Mets.
I think as a dog, the Padres are worth a shot. I mean, obviously, you know how baseball is, Jimmy the Bag. We're talking about small edges here and there. In this spot, though, I think the Padres are worth a shot. I'll probably give them -1 plus 157 current line at Pinnacle. I have a high volatility penciled into this game as well. Wouldn't mind taking a shot with the San Diego team total over at 3.5 as well at like -140 or something like that. But I think I'll just stick with San Diego -1 plus 157. You can always make a good case for staying off every play, and that might be the smartest thing to do. But we're doing a betting show here, and I'm going to bet it San Diego -1 plus 157 current line at Pinnacle.
Padres -1 plus 157?
157.
Plus 157 here. Huh. Interesting. So Loshak on the board. I think that Weathers and Peterson are both vulnerable here. And you talked about the volatility. I don't like betting first fives over 5, but I believe this is a spot to do it. Let me just see what the line history was over at Pinnacle on the first 5 here. Sorry, move over to the total. First 5. Damn, it did open up at 4.5. So I could have got 4.5 for a long time. Now I have to deal with this stupid 5. Ugh, stupid. I could have got it and I did not. And now you need a 6 to win it. But I guess I just okay. I'll stop humming and hawing there. But I certainly am. If you had a free play on the first 5, Pete, you go over it.
Free play, sure. It's a free play. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, Maybe not. I mean, first 5 overs at Citi Field, think twice about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, but I think Peterson's going to be vulnerable here. I think Weathers is going to be vulnerable here. But Hunter says 6 is a lot of runs. It sure is.
Yeah, look, Jimmy the Bag. When I say a lot of things where like I'm just saying it to be coy, and the opposite is true. When I say take my MLB plays and opinions as of right now with a grain of salt, that's 100% true. It may be funny, but it's also 100% true. Like I'm very, very careful. I enjoy it. I'm doing it recreationally. It's fun, but it's a brave new ball game out here.
How are your bullpen rankings shaping up?
I'm not. I haven't even started them yet because for various reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe Yurkovich looking at the first 5 team total over 2.5 for the Mets. I agree with that. I just think they're both vulnerable. Okay, I'm not sure if I move on that first 5 over, but I'm certainly going to go look at it further. Okay, let's move on. And let me just make sure I've got everything set up for when we are joined. Yes, I do. So when Jose is ready to roll with us. Okay, next up for us, 7:20 p.m. Eastern, Cincinnati Reds 4-5, 1-3 on the road at the Atlanta Braves, 7-4, 2-3 at home. We're at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. We have Luis Cessa going up against Kyle Wright. Kyle Wright was spectacular last year. Started the year on IL due to shoulder soreness, but last year, 21-5. 3.19 ERA, 1.16 whip, 174 Ks and 180 in the third and 53 walks. He went 6 innings and struck out 6. He did allow 5 earned runs in his rehab start with AAA Gwinnett last Wednesday, but he threw 84, 86, mid-80s pitches. So that's what they wanted from him, and I don't care that he got touched up, but he just wants to feel good out there, not really trying to be spectacular. Let's take a look at the line history for this one and the weather and all that good stuff. First off, weather-wise, 68 Fahrenheit, 6.5 miles per hour in. This is the first game thus far where the wind is blowing in. And it's not that warm in Atlanta. It gets down to 59 Fahrenheit by the end of it. Then it's only 5.4 miles per hour in. Let's take a look at the line history for – oh, shit, I had it up already. Sorry. Let's take a look at this line history here. We have – the Braves opening up minus 215. They're now minus 226. That's an 11-cent move towards the Braves. Total-wise, this opened up at 9, minus 112, minus 106 to the under. It's now minus 112 to the under. So we've had 6 cents of movement towards that under. And then cash-wise here, we have 8% of the tickets on the Reds and 23% of the cash. So 92% of the tickets are on the Braves in this spot, but just 77% of the cash. Then 59% of the tickets and 56% of cash on the over. Yeah, it's slightly moving towards the under. Cessa did not look great in his first start. It was at home versus the Cubs. He went 5 in the third, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, 3 walks, in a 12-5 loss. This makes me uncomfortable. BJ says I'm in Atlanta. It says beautiful outside right now, barely no wind, and he says he works construction, so he's outside almost all day. He says glad to see Kyle Wright back. I love the feet on the ground weather report, BJ, my guy. Respect. Take it away for us here, Pete. Reds, Braves.
I was pretty on to Kyle Wright's awesomeness last year, and in general did well with it. This one, it's got to be wait and see, especially at this line. It would be Reds or nothing for me. Can't quite pull the trigger on it. I agree with you that don't read too much into getting shelled in his rehab start, although don't completely toss it out either. This is just me talking, Jimmy the Bag. There's about 12 guys, or maybe 25 guys in the comments, people in the comment section who have a better read on all this than I do, but it would be Cincinnati or pass for me. Don't have the balls right now to although I should probably grow some, but don't have the balls right now to make an official play on Cincinnati here.
Yeah, I just can't trust Luis Cessa, but I agree. There's probably high volatility in this spot. I'm a little surprised that it's juiced now to the under and that the books are opening up their arms to over cash. Luce says backwoods. Okay, let's.
And Alfred 44 watched every second of Braves this year. God, I love it when we have guys who've watched every second of some team or some conference or whatever. He says this is too high.
Yeah,
talking about the money line.
I mean. Yeah, no, I get it. And I'd love that too. Alfred, we have so many great cappers. Mets Padres first 3 over, says Joe. What if we take it down to 3? I love this group, man. You're absolutely right, because Nutflush is right. When the line gets away from you, like I said, you got to let it go. And here I am trying to still get
Yeah, and razor sharp picks. Like that guy said to Jimmy, grow some ball. Yeah, should I grow a ball or two, Jimmy the Bag, and take Cincinnati -1?
Grow a ball or two.
A ball or two? How could that hurt me? An extra ball or two. It's not going to kill me? No. All right. Cincinnati Reds -1 plus 268. Current line of Pinnacle official play.
Wow. The peer pressure got to you. It didn't get to me. It got to you. Reds -1 at plus what?
268.
Jesus. Wow. That wow. Razor's right in the air.
Look, it's one unit. If it loses, an extra ball or two ain't going to kill it.
Okay. Let's move on. We move on to 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox at Minnesota Twins. White Sox 5-6, 4-4 on the road. Minnesota Twins 6-4, 2-2. Oh, Razor said he didn't think it would be that easy. Now you have to get involved in that game too, Razor, as a friend. Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's get to work here on the line history. And this is also the spreadsheet play of the day, which I will discuss with everybody here in a second. But first off, let's take a look at the weather in Minnesota. 79 Fahrenheit, warm in Minnesota. They have not been hit with the really cold weather yet. 79 Fahrenheit, 13.2 miles per hour out to left, slightly out. I mean, it's almost to the pole, but not quite to the pole. 13.2 to 10.4 miles per hour, and a beautiful night for baseball in Minnesota. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Move over here. Here we go. Lopez and Lynn. We have Minnesota opening up at -127. They're now -149, a 22-cent move to the Minnesota Twins. From a total perspective, it opened up at 8, -114 to the under. It actually dipped to 7.5 a bunch of times, but it is at 8, a -114 to the under right now. So I imagine the big bets will be on the Twins and the under. Let's see if that's the case. Certainly the case for the Twins. 85% of the tickets and 79% of the cash. So 15 and 21. There are some bigger bets on the White Sox. Total-wise, 35% of the tickets and 69% of the cash is on this under. So that's sort of speaking to the fact that they think that Lance Lynn is capable of having a good start. Let's take a look here at the Twins. Oh, first off, let's give a shout-out to our Ron Crawford. Ron Crawford is on the Minnesota Twins -1 at plus 101 for his spreadsheet play of the day. Jake Burns says might even take the Twins first 5 -1.5. Says can't trust Lynn. There's our guy Jimmy Gomez in the house. Respect. We love you, Jimmy Go. We talked about you right off the top. We both did. Talked about you right off the top of the show. Let's discuss this spot.
Hey, Jimmy Gomez. Check it out. Hell yeah. Thank you, Jimmy Gomez. Love you, man.
And I got mine right here, Jago. I got mine right there. Bo Bichette stained glass thing of beauty. All right, let's get to work here. So Lance Lynn's had 2 starts this year. First start was pretty good at the Astros. Big game. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 6 Ks, 4 walks, 6-3 loss. Wasn't on him. His second start was atrocious. A lot of people, we had our Nut Flush Allen give the Giants team total over 3.5 in this spot. Giants put up 16 runs in that game. He went 4 1/3, 9 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 homers, 5 Ks, 3 walks. Pablo Lopez has looked nothing short of spectacular in his first 2 starts, and neither of them have come at home. He looked great at the Royals, 5 1/3, 2 hits, 8 Ks, 3 walks, no earned runs, and a 2-0 win. Then in 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 8 Ks, 1 walk, and a 5-2 loss at the Marlins. Take it away for us here, Pistol Pete Loshak. We have Ron Crawford on Minnesota -1. We have the market moving towards the Twinkies. What are you doing here?
You said it. Pablo Lopez having 2 great starts at KC and at Miami. It's nice. It's fine. But, those are beneficial situations for a pitcher like Lopez. At home against the White Sox is going to be a lot tougher. Having said that, I definitely like Minnesota here. like Lynn to get touched up a little bit. I guess I probably like the Minnesota team total over more than Minnesota like -1 or something like that. But I got there's 8 different plays that you can give that are all correlated if you see a game going some way. But yeah, I think Lopez is legitimately good, not as good as he showed in his first 2 starts of the year. Lynn, bulldog, but shaky in general, and I expect that to continue. And so I like Minnesota here and Minnesota team total over here.
DC Capper, what is your 6% play? I just see White Sox, Minnesota. I'd be very interested to see yours play. Mike M says Minnesota 5 nerfies in a row versus the AL. Viper already locked in the over 7.5. Obviously, I have a vividness bias with Lance Lynn. I'm not going to lie to you. I like him. So I have a bias here. I don't think he's nearly as bad as he looked in that home start against.
No, he's not. But he's still, in general, a guy who's going to, I mean, if he goes into Miami and KC, I would expect a 7-3 start from him for sure.
Yeah. And you are not moving on the Twins here, even though you lean towards them.
No, I want to move on him. I want to put at least one official here, because if I don't and it wins, I'm going to be very frustrated. But I want to shout out Sports Betting and Poker, who said extra ball play of the day. Maybe we should have that. Maybe we'll call it the extra ball or two play of the day. That's when someone is a little bit afraid of giving some kind of play because it's a big dog, and then they wind up doing it. They get an extra ball or two play of the day. Shout out to Sports Betting and Poker. We should do that, Jimmy the Bag. I want to take Minnesota one way or another here. Okay, so do you want to take a little bit of time on that? Swiss Horton with a funny comment. All right, just let me just look around for a second and see
Swiss Horton's money in the bank, man. I want Swiss Horton on screen more here than I love him. Nerfy parlays might pay off the mortgage from Megatron TV. Wow, I am not moving on this game, but I do think if we believe that Lynn is better than he's showing, and Lopez is a little bit worse than he's showing, and I'm afraid to bet Lynn here, which is legit. The public is on the over. The bigger bets are on the under. I think we're going to get a bounce back spot from Lynn.
Entirely possible.
What do you think about the first 5 under in this spot?
Don't really like it because I don't trust Lynn, and Lopez is definitely good, but not quite as good as he's shown already. But then again, Jimmy, I mean, narrative capping is fun, but in baseball you can talk yourself off of everything. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about small edges here, so
This opened up at 4 minus 112, Pete. At 10:44 a.m., they moved it to 3.5. It only lasted there for 12 minutes. But, I'm interested in it. Let's see what Sharpie says. It says Lance Lynn has not looked good on Team USA or his last start. Okay start versus Nationals team who didn't hit the first week. Says I've got to wait and see with him. Lopez historically has been good in the first half of the season. I think that's very simply put. Yeah, okay.
That's for sure. All right, you know what? I mean, if it's the spreadsheet friggin' play of the day, I should probably make it first 5. It's just Minnesota full game is a spreadsheet play of the day, right?
Minnesota full game -1 at +101 is the spreadsheet play of the day.
Man, all right, I'll make a play at some point. Just let me just look around at what we got here, and then wait. Let me see. You want any other comments coming in that are interesting?
Rob Free says anytime everyone is on the Twins, the offense is a no-show. Rob Free had a monster Friday and dropped a dono for us as well. Great friend of the show, great capper. There's Trot Wam.
Says Tim Anderson to steal a base, but isn't he banged up?
Yeah, we don't know if he's going to be in the lineup here. Let me see if I can get the final notice from Tim Anderson, and then I'm looking very, very excited about talking about this next game on the plate. He's been placed 31 minutes ago. He was placed on the 10-day IL.
Right, that's what I was assuming.
There we go. Oh, and there was Jose saying that. Okay, so,
All right, you know what? I'll just start with Minnesota -1 +100 as an official play.
Noli, are you on this under? I would love to know that information. Okay,
Minnesota -1 plus 100 current line Heritage.
So we have Loshak on the Twins -1 plus 100, and
But you're right. I mean, Lynn is better than he's shown, and Lopez definitely not as good as he's shown so far. So it's dicey.
And Noli knows is not on the under. He does not trust Lynn. I mean, I think Sharpie put it very succinctly as to why it's not on. Okay, let's move on because we have a corner of a very interesting boulevard on our next game. Seattle Mariners 4-7, 2-2 on the road at the Chicago Cubs 5-4, 4-3 at home at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. So we have TJ giving us the gift. Spanning 2 years, the gift on our show is 13-2-1. And it's a record he takes very seriously. 13-2-1. So his gift is Seattle Moneyline plus 105. That correlates with another young man who's known for a bulbous taint. The taint play of the day is also the Seattle Mariners at minus 105. So we have the gift and we have taint. Yes, that Jose will fix the matchup. That is the Smiley yesterday's matchup. It is Chris Surtz without the Retson Flexen up against Hayden Wesneski. Let's discuss young Hayden Wesneski. Now, we broke him down pretty nice in the last start he had, a 12-5 win of the Reds, where he wasn't very good. And I don't expect him to be very good. He was really good in 2022, and I feel like that sort of came out of nowhere. He was drafted initially 33rd round, but I think a lot of teams knew he wasn't going to sign. That was in 2016 out of high school. Then he comes out of Sam Houston State University in 2019 in the 6th round. Last year, he was way better than any of us expected. 3-2, 2.45 ERA, 0.93 whip, 0.94 whip. He looked very, very good. And I just don't believe in it, and I don't expect it to continue. He did not look great in his first start. As I said, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and 12-5 win of the Reds. Going up against Chris Flexen, he did not look good. It wasn't on him, the first start. 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 K, 3 walks, 9-4 loss at home to the Guardians. His second start, also at home, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and a 4-3 loss to the Angels. My concern with Flexen is I love him at home, and I'm always nervous to back him on the road. Let's take a look at the weather at Wrigley. 71 Fahrenheit, 12.3 miles per hour out to right center. Dies down to 9.3. Take a look at the line history in this spot. This opened up with the Cubs minus 110. They're now minus 114. The total opened up at over 9.5 at minus 111. That's gone up a full run to over 10.5. Now let's take a look at the cash flow here. The cash flow the cash flow in this one, we have 82% of the tickets in. Oh no, shit, that's the wrong game. My bad. Sorry. Where's the Seattle game? My bad. Okay, here I got it here. We have 48% of the tickets and 75% of the cash on the Cubs. Bigger bets coming in on the Cubs. A very slight move towards them. Total wise, 74% tickets and 94% cash on the over, and we've seen it move a full run. Take it away for us here, Pete. Mariners, Cubs.
Well, first of all, I don't like to see the DC Capper said a 6% play on the White Sox, but okay. I was liking Seattle as well, although I was hoping and expecting to have a bit more of a dog line for them. I like it anyway. It's great to see that people that I respect are agreeing with it. I was going to give it anyway, even when I saw that the line was where it is. But Mally Mal saying Seattle can't hit. Yeah, that's true. BJ says I don't trust Chris Flexen at all. Yeah, me neither. Seattle has some issues, but I like him here.
Last year, he was better on the road than he was at home, which is a rarity for him. I say it's a rarity, but let's get some convincing here. In 2021, he was very good at home and worse on the road. Okay. But last year, he was fine on the road. I don't know why. I guess I just have this vividness bias here. JPZ says plus 102 on his book. He's jumping on it. Says Wisniewski did not impress him. SM in the house. Great to see you. Joe Yurkovich says Seattle is indeed the play. Cubs getting too much for being at home. Mr. Heat says weather here is beautiful. Says love my city, the Shy. And North Ender says I've been smoking CLV early this year, and so far, unlike NBA, it's been catching. Equanimus trusting the over. Mr. Heat saying the Cubs are a scrappy team.
They are. I like the Cubs this year in general.
Yes. And that was a look that our Deacon Mike gave right off the top of the year. He put a big bet in on their over win total. There's our guy, Officer of 50, Ayashi Allah, in the house. Great to see you. Every time I don't move on the gift, it cashes, and then I get sent a very kind message asking me why I don't just tail it.
All right, you can add me on there. Seattle -1 plus 128. Current line of Pinnacle. Seattle -1 plus 128.
Loshak is on the Mariners -1 at plus 128. The problem is I don't tail anybody or anything, and I just want everything to correlate. That's all I want. Sharpie says Wisniewski played Seattle 2 times in spring training, or else he'd be backing him today. I got to keep it to my system here. It brought me to my best season last year, and I understand that. How would you not look? I'm not going up against them, but it just doesn't correlate to me perfectly. And if that's the case, then I will just cheer you guys on, and I will receive the message from TJ as to why I didn't do it, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I love TJ giving us the gift 13-2-1 here on the show. Troy Torrance says the over is correlating to me. I get it, Troy, but the line's just moved too much. I mean, if this was an over that we wanted, this was available at 7:30 this morning at 9.5. It was available. The first move was towards the under. So this at 8:51 a.m. was available over 9.5 at even money. It's gone up a full run, and it just can't be something that it's just not going to lead you to a positive ROI if we chase here. So let's move on. We have Taint, Loshak, The Gift, and Joe Yurkovich all on the Mariners. I will be on the fence cheering you guys on. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Kansas City Royals 3-8, 2-2 on the road at the Texas Rangers, 6-4, 5-2 at home at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Can somebody tell us if the roof will be open in Arlington, Texas? I'm sorry, I don't have that information ahead of us. Jordan Lyles going up against Jacob deGrom. There's Fat Wally in the house. What up, Wally, my guy? We need to know if the roof will be open first off, and then we will discuss the weather. But let's go into the line history here. This opened up with the Rangers -245 and now -267. That is a 22-cent move in Texas's direction. Total wise, this opened up at 8, -112 to the under. It's now 8 and -115 to the under. So still waiting on the roof information. PJ says this is a simple Texas redliner pass to me. This is a pitching mismatch. I think I said pissing there. A pitching mismatch, and I think the Rangers bats get to Lyles early and often. The hip to be square play of the day is Yankees Rangers plus 119, and it's up 2 units. 2 units here. Okay, deGrom, Lyles. So let's just see what the cash is in this situation. Here we have 82% of the tickets, 85% of the cash on Texas. The line's moving towards it. 50% of the tickets and 66% of the cash on the under. And it has moved, dropped a half run in some games. You can't simplify things, but if Jordan Lyles has a great start, he's the best fade in the business. When he's had a terrible start, he usually pitches okay. Now, I don't want to simplify it to that extent, and I probably shouldn't have said it. But I watch this guy closely because I used to fade him every start. Lyles, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 Ks, 2 walks in his opening start, 2-0 loss at home to the Twins. That was up against Pablo Lopez. In his next start, it was at home to the Jays, and he went 5 2/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 homers, 9 Ks, and a 6-3 loss. deGrom looked bad in his first start, 3 2/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks, and 11-7 win at home. And then he looked very good at home versus the Orioles, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 11 Ks, 2 walks. And a 5-2 win at home over the O's. Take it away for us here, Pete. Does anything interest you in Royals Rangers?
Nah, I'm staying off this one. I mean, would you count Lyle's last start as good or bad? He had 9 strikeouts, no walks, also gave up 2 home runs. DeGrom, of course, I think he is, legit awesome. Not sure how many of those clunkers we're going to see from him this year. He's always injury prone, right? It's going to be a pass for me. Everyone is on Texas. I'm not going to bet this game. So if whoever is betting Texas, I hope you cash. If you gave me a free play, I'd probably throw it on KC, but pass for me.
I consider it kind of a poor start from Jordan Lyles last out, but against a very tough lineup and wasn't terrible, as you said, with 9 Ks. But 5 earned runs, 5 2/3. It was I counted it as a poor start. By the way, SM saying the Bruins players are back in the lineup today. Bergeron, wow, they're all back.
I think that settles it then.
So McAvoy, Orlov, wow, that's fascinating. Wow. So Troy Torrance says Rangers $1.9, team total over 3.5, a -110. What do you think of the first 5 under? I know that we've got to move on to NBA.
Yeah, pass for me. Pass on this game for me.
I just want to take a look at what Lyles' numbers are here against this opposition, because I kind of like the first 5 under here. If I can get 2 runs allowed, I can cash it. Even maybe if I can get 3 runs allowed, I can probably cash this. So let's just quickly look at the the Rangers lineup just does not scare me that much. Let's just quickly look at the matchup here against Lyles. We have Grossman hitting 333, low 333, Seager 286, Simeon's batting 500. I can't do it. And then I guess you look at I guess you could take the Rangers on the -1 line, first 5. Let me just quickly take a look at what that is, and then we'll move on to the next spot on the board. Maybe I should just do this on my own time. I apologize. First 5 -1 would give you. It's too expensive. Even that's a -134. Ugh. What did Hunter do? Hunter said Lyles' numbers match up well with Rangers guys. Really? So what? I don't. 500 against Simeon, 286 for Seager. I don't know. I don't. This is not enough for me to be confident against. I mean, who is he good against? This makes me nervous. Okay, I will cheer you on though. Against lefties this year. Okay. Well, I'll look into it a little more. Okay, let's move on. Bunch of question marks there. Piker says 80% of tickets on the Rangers and 30-cent move to the Royals tells us we shouldn't be confident on the Rangers at least. So I don't have that 30-cent move. Let me just go back to what it was at Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened this up yesterday at 3:07 p.m. and there's been a 22-cent move towards the Rangers. So I've got different numbers here. Okay, let's move on. Next up for us, 8:40 p.m. Eastern, St. Louis Cardinals 3-7, 1-3 on the road at the Colorado Rockies, 5-6, 3-2 at home. We're at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Let's take a look at the line history here in Denver. Oh, and consensus. Okay, I feel that. I get it, Piker. I get it. Let's take a look at the line history here for this spot in Colorado. Freeland has been nothing short of spectacular thus far this year, and Michael's the opposite. Cardinals opened up at -160. They got up to -172, but right now they're at -166. So we have a 6-cent move towards them. Totals wise, it's opened up at 11. It's now at 12. 11-12. Let's take a look at the weather here in Colorado. We have 77 Fahrenheit, 10.7 miles per hour left to right for the first hour, and then it goes slightly out in the second hour. And then by the end of the game, it's 7.3 miles per hour out to right field. Let's take a look at the line history here. We did that. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. We have 50% of the tickets and 59% of the cash on Colorado, a slight move to St. Louis. 67% of the tickets, 66% of cash on the over. And then we have Freeland going up against Michaelis. Michaelis has looked bad in both his starts. They both come at home. First one, he went 3 1/3, allowed 10 hits, 5 earned runs, 6 Ks, no walks, and 10-9 loss to the Jays. The next home loss was 5-2 against the Braves. He looked better, but still bad. 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 6 Ks, and 1 walk. Freeland's looked nothing short of spectacular thus far. First start, he went 6 innings, 3 hits, no one runs, 1K, 1 walk, the 4-1 win at San Diego. His next start was at home against the Nats. He went 6 2/3, 4 hits, no one runs, 5Ks, 2 walks. He hasn't allowed an earned run yet this year. In 2022, the Cards were the best team in the league against lefties, 263, 808 OPS. This year, they're smashing lefties. Their OPS is puts them in 9th, but 328 average, 815 OPS. Now, we saw Dodd shut him down, but no one else has been able to. Take it away for us here, Pete. Rockies, Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't get this line. Freeland's last start, I did have the under in that one. I wouldn't have bet under 2, but I did have the under in that one. Went way under. Freeland is really rolling. Obviously, he's going to have some duds. Of course, that could happen here. But and Michaelis will probably significantly improve in spots and at times. But I'm just not getting this. I can't not pull the trigger on Colorado early. But I will admit that I don't understand the line.
Yeah, so you expected another strong start from Freeland?
Not as strong as his first 2, but he's a capable guy who knows how to. I mean, this is not like, where did this come from? Freeland is a guy who I was vaguely high on to come into the season, especially at Coors, where he kind of knows how to get shit done. And Michaelis had a really nice career resurgence, fine pitcher, but a nice stash, but a guy who I just don't see the big road favorite line here.
Huh. Wow, look at that. Piker says the official baby hands bouquet play of the day is Rockets plus 155. Wow. Rockets plus 105. Wow.
My problem is just I just was very surprised and didn't understand the line.
What are your expectations of Michaelis as we move forward?
He'll be vulnerable, but he'll probably have a few nice spots, especially pitching at Miami or something like that, where he's like, oh, that was 6 innings and 2 runs. Oh, not bad. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Okay. I predict we'll see a 6-inning, 2-run, 3 strikeout, 2 walk appearance at Miami. And we'll be like, he's all right, but in general, vulnerable.
Okay, I need more time on this game. All right, we have 3 games left before we get into NBA, and your next game is the Say Hey play of the day. So let's welcome back Jose Bouquet to the show. Washington Nationals 4-7, 3-2 on the road at the LA Angels 5-5, 1-3 at home. We're at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Let's talk about the weather first. We have 61 Fahrenheit. It's cold in LA, 8.9 miles per hour out, always out, 8.9 to 7.5. Take a look at the line history here in this spot. Ohtani versus Josiah Gray. We have opening up at minus 280 are the Angels, now minus 296, a 16-cent move towards them. Total wise, it's opened up at 8, minus 111 to the under. It's now 8.5, minus 111 to the under. It's now 8.5, minus 109 to the under. So very little movement there. Then cash flow wise, we have 92% of the tickets on the Angels, just 78% of the cash. Totals wise, we have 30% of tickets on the under, but 81% of cash. But it isn't moving towards the under. Equinimus says fade Ohtani. Josiah Gray versus Ohtani. Gray's had 2 starts this year. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 homers, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and then an ugly 7-1 loss at home to the Braves. And then spectacular when he went up against Freeland. 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk. Ohtani has been great in both of his starts. He is a special ball player. And Jose has an affinity for our Shohei Ohtani. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquet. Say hey, play of the day, Nats, Angels.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani, my favorite baseball player. Everyone knows that. I love him dearly. But I know Pete hates when I do this. This is the start of the minus 300 fades.
Mm-hmm.
We will. We're riding it again here. Very easily, Nationals money line. I could give you all the stats that say the Angels are going to beat the shit out of the Nationals, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, I'll keep saying it. I don't think any baseball team should be minus 300 against any other baseball team. Josiah Gray, a competent pitcher too. I was on him last start. That was the 1-0. The first 1-0 I was on the wrong side of, unfortunately. First one in Coors and fucking forever. I don't know. But ultimately, I'm trusting Josiah Gray to keep this close. The Nationals bats are horrible against righties. But let's see if Shohei can have one of those starts where he doesn't have his command fully going. We'll have to go to the bullpen early. That would be my ideal. But give me the Nationals here, full game money line. I tweeted it out at plus 250, but there are better places you can get it. Like on Bet Online, you can get it at plus 270. So I'm just a schmuck, and I didn't line shop very well. But yeah, Nationals money line.
Don't let my dad call you that.
Your dad likes me more than you, though. So
That is true. Pistol Pete, Loshak, Nats, Angels.
Okay, first of all, can you add Rockies first 5 plus 136 current line Pinnacle for me, Jim? Rockies first 5 plus 136 current line of Pinnacle. You got that?
Sorry, Rockies first 5.
First 5 plus 136 plus
Okay.
136.
I got it. You're locked in. Take
Yeah,
it away,
I'm not gonna. I don't know if you've noticed, Jose Bouquet, but we got a minus 160 here. But look what else I got today: 154 plus 195 plus 268. We got a lot of dogs here. This one, I'm sorry. I hope you cash, but for me, it would be Ohtani or pass. I know this is a huge line, but Gray, I don't trust Gray in this spot. I mean, he'll be up and down, in his. I think this year, I think this is a down spot for him. I definitely like Ohtani here. I wouldn't mind taking the Angels -1 at like minus 230 or whatever. I'm not going to do it officially, but I hope you cash and look great on Twitter. I'm going to pass.
thank you. I specifically just want to look good on Twitter. That's why I make the.
I mean, yeah. You'll never look bad taking huge dogs on Twitter.
Thank you. By the way, I like the little stash mirror we've got here. Jimmy bald and faceless in the face area. I've got my shitty stash, and Pete's got his grade 1 stash. Face bald, fucking pubescent facial hair, and grown man. And this little line we've got going here.
Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Lucas Ryan with the $1.99 dono. Thank you for thinking of us, my friend. And Sky Dragon says, who wouldn't like Jose? I agree. Scotty Boy says, Jimmy, cut your unit size in half, double the amount of bets you make, believe in your leans and capping ability, try for a week. No, I've been doing this for a long time. I had my best year in MLB in my career last year, and I'm just going to do what's been working for me. I would thank you for caring, about, that, but what happened last year was real. I beat MLB, and it felt really good. And I'm just going to do exactly what I did to beat MLB, and that's this. So I'm going to stick to it, but respect. Why are you not on the first 5 under in this spot, Jose?
It's a good question. I wouldn't hate it. It's just as you know, my adversity of at first 5 unders. I have one on my card already. I didn't want to add a second one. I do think Josiah Gray is competent enough to shut these guys down. Obviously, the big scare is against the Angels offense versus Josiah Gray. I think the Angels right now, I'm gonna look at my notes real quick, and I'm handwriting all my notes this year. So shout out to me, feeling like Peter Loshak in the 80s. 16th are the Angels against righties. 94 weighted runs created plus so far this year. I thought it was actually higher. So I wouldn't hate it. Just have to trust Josiah Gray. I do.
BJ says Gray will get smoked tonight as he laughs in my face.
Yeah, I don't like the spot for Gray. And I think Ohtani will be fine.
So you don't think that start against the Rockies, he comes home with confidence?
He comes home with. I'm sure he could. I mean, he's not a bad pitcher. It's just he's not an elite pitcher, and I don't like the spot for him.
Okay, I'm very interested in the first 5 under 4.5. It's -120, and I'm very interested in it. If that's the case, Pete, if you think Gray's vulnerable, and we all know what Ohtani can do, why are you not on the first 5 -1 or something of that nature?
Because I don't want Jose to play that fucking video.
Fair. That's why it's there.
Stupid fucking Pete Rose video. It's like that Kool-Aid isn't juice, but forget about it. It's okay.
Kool-Aid is juice. What the hell?
All right. Let's move on. Mike M says it's Ohtani. How can you not just lay first 5 -1/2? What can go wrong? First half, almost -200. Couple the loss with one more from last night, you'll be down like 4.5 units over 2 LA games. No, that's true. Okay, I'm interested in this first 5 under 4.5. I've got to take a deeper dive into Josiah Gray, which I will do after the show. We have.
Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, I do. I would be an inch away from taking Nats first 5 team total under at 1.5. That was something I was thinking about for sure.
Yeah, and Troy talking about that, saying, talking about the same spot. Okay, we have Jose on the Nats plus 250, and Joe Yurgich looking at Ohtani for the win. We will move on. We got 2 games left, and then we have NBA with a Wham Bam 3000. Jose, you can reach out to Wham at any time in the next 5 minutes or so and get him rolling with us. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 7-3, 2-2 on the road at Arizona Diamondbacks. 7-4, 4-1 at home at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Corbin Burns going up against Merle Kelly. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. And what's going on with Corbin Burns? We know that he was in arbitration in the offseason, and his feelings were hurt by the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers open up at minus 133. They're now minus 120. They got down to minus 117. A legit move towards the Diamondbacks. Totals-wise, it's opened up at 8.5, minus 114 to the over. It's now 8.5, minus 119. Oh, sorry. 8.5 minus 114 to the under. It's now 8.5 minus 119 to the over. So we have a 20-cent move to the over in this spot. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. We have 50% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on the Brewers, and the market's moving, towards the Diamondbacks. Then we have 63% of the tickets, 62% of cash on the under 8.5. Real Deal Prime says Burn Spring also wasn't good. Mike M says love the over. DK opened it at 8 yesterday. Alfred says Kelly has surprised him so far. Now, Kelly's had 2 starts against the Dodgers. I mean, that's not easy, and he's historically bad against them. The first one, he was 3 2/3, 3 hits, no one runs, 4 Ks, 4 walks. Also had 4 Ks, 4 walks in his next one, a 5-2 loss at home, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs. You have to think the Brewers lineup is going to be easier for him. Corbin Burns has looked nothing short of bad. 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs in his first start, 4-0 loss to Cubs. Then 4 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 homers, 3 Ks, 2 walks, a 7-6 win at home versus the Mets. Take it away for us here, Pete. Brewers, Diamondbacks.
I was thinking about over and maybe a Milwaukee team total over as well. I don't mind Milwaukee. I don't love them as a road favorite here, but I think they are likely to get to Kelly a bit. And I like the over in general. Run in the first inning as well.
And who do you think's more vulnerable here?
I have I guess. Well, yeah. I mean, Burns based on the numbers, which I take with an extreme grain of salt after 2 starts. But yeah, I guess Burns, sure.
Subhuman Gaucho says, I know we've moved on this, but the Tigers' first 3 is plus 210 at MGM.
Yes. Thank you so much. Who said that?
Our guy, Subhuman Gaucho.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to give you that.
I just changed it to plus 210.
Let's just take a look. The roof is open tonight. Let's just take a look at the weather. 92 Fahrenheit, 9.7 miles per hour left to right, slightly out. Becomes more out, but a little lower at 7.3 miles per hour. Arizona money line for DC Capper. When is Burns going to turn it on, Pete? Could be today.
Sure. No, I like Milwaukee here.
Okay. This game makes me nervous. I don't know when Burns is going to turn it on. If you like Milwaukee here, I think Merle Kelly's capable of a good start. Why would we not be on the under in this spot, Pete?
Well, we could be. There's
been a 20-cent move to the over at 8.5.
Yeah, I suspect Burns will struggle a bit more, and I like the matchup Brewers against Kelly in this one as well.
I guess I can't go up against this 20-cent move. Thank you, Scotty boy, my friend. And no, I know that your comment was out of care, and it means something to me. So thank you for caring, man. I respect it, and thank you. Okay, Brewers, Diamondbacks, no movement. Let's go into the final game of the day before we get into NBA. 9:45 p.m. Eastern. LA Dodgers 6-5, 2-3 on the road at the San Francisco Giants. 4-6, 1-3 at home at Oracle Park, San Francisco, California. Dustin May looks spectacular. I know that Sharpie's been talking about a possible Cy Young candidate and the number that you can get on Dustin May. Man, has he looked good. 55 Fahrenheit opening pitch, 17.5 miles per hour to center. Goes down to 15.6. But remember, it is still a pitcher's ballpark, and that wind does swirl. Trot Wam is on Nerfies for the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers game. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. May versus Wood. We have the Giants opening up at plus 127. They're now plus 145. So we've had a 20-cent move from minus 138 to minus 158 for the Dodgers. A big move. Totals wise, it's opened up at 8.5, juice to the under. It's moved back slightly to the over, 6 cents of movement. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. Our final game on the MLB card, we have 92% of the tickets on the Dodgers and 84% of the cash. I mean, at least there's been 20 cents of movement. We have 40% of tickets and 71% of cash on the under, and we've had a slight move to the over. We have Dustin May after 2 starts, both against Arizona. Really strong. Combined, he went 13 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 9 Ks, 3 walks. Very, very strong. 1 at home, 1 on the road. Alex Wood didn't have to do much in that first start of the year. It was a 16-6 win at the White Sox. He went 3 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run. We have some of us have a vividness bias of the Dodgers not being able to hit lefties. It just hasn't been the case over the last year and a month. 2022 Dodgers were 252, 754 OPS versus lefties, 9th in the league. So far this year, they're just hitting only 220, but have an 860 OPS, 6th highest in the league. Take it away for us here, Pistol Pete Loshak, Dodgers, Giants.
Yeah, I'm high on May. I think I've bet him very successfully right from the first day that he came up. I'm not going to pull the trigger on it because it feels a little bit trappy. Just want to look into it a little bit more and hear what what Nutflesh Allen has to say. But obviously leaning Dodgers, first 3 or something like that. But not going to make it official. I will though, if you want to add it on there, you can make a Milwaukee Arizona first half over 4 minus 125. Current line at Pinnacle official for me, Jim. You got that one? Milwaukee, Arizona, first half over 4 minus 125.
Interesting.
Pinnacle.
Interesting. I don't see how we don't move on the Dodgers here. I think that Dustin May is going to love the opportunity to pitch in this, rivalry against the Giants while he's looking like the ace of the staff. I just Cheshire says he's on the Dodgers in several ways. Would the only concern here, I guess, be the fact that you have what is it right now? The money of 84% of the cash on the Dodgers. Would that concern you at all here, Pete?
No.
So then why aren't you backing Dustin May?
Because San Francisco is just a little bit of a weird, wonky, quirky place to play, and just kind of you never know what Mike Nutflesh Allen will hit us up with between now and first pitch. Makes me feel a little bit nervous. If I didn't have if I didn't have such a close relationship with Nutflesh Allen, maybe I'd make a decision now. But we're gonna wait. Having Nutflesh Allen as a close friend is like being in position in poker. Big advantage.
Yeah,
you wait for all the information to come to you.
Noli No says Giants are straight trash. Sharpie says May versus San Francisco last year, 5 innings, no earned runs on just 67 pitches. Says, man, oh man, it's May Day. I'm interested in the Dodgers early, but Joe Yurgis says Giants pen no good so far. We do know that fading the Dodgers when they play San Francisco is not a winning proposition. It sure hasn't been over the last little while. All right, let's review all MLB before we get into NBA. We start with the Yanks game. Peter Loshak's on the Yanks first 5, team total over 2.5 plus 107. And Matty Ice is on the Yanks first 5 minus a half. That's not the taint play of the day, but it's on his card. A's, Orioles, we stayed off. Loshak's on the Pirates at plus 154. I'm interested in the under in this spot. Very interested. Red Sox for Jose at plus 159. The first 5 under 4 minus 120. Loshak's on the Rays first 3 minus 160. And I am interested in the first 5 under 4 in that spot. Loshak is on the Nerfy, no runs first inning in Marlins, Phillies at minus 130. He's on the Tigers first 3 plus 195, and I want the Tigers early.
Plus 210, Jim, plus 210.
Oh, yes, you're right. Sorry.
Current line at MGM.
I want the Tigers early. I'm not sure. And I also am very interested in the first 3 under 2.5. I'm interested in both those spots. I believe in Matt Manning. And there's no fade against the Jays. I just think Matt Manning is a big game pitcher, and it's going to be probably the most fun game the Tigers get to play all year, with a sold-out crowd. Loshak's on the Padres minus 1 at plus 157. I have to let go the first 5 over 5. I have to let it go. Nutflesh is right. I preach letting it go if the line gets away from you, and yet I was still going to make the move. Loshak's on the Reds minus 1 at plus 268. Loshak's on the Twins minus 1 at plus 100. Ron Crawford's on the spreadsheet play today minus 1. I lean towards the under, but want more time on it. Loshak's on the Mariners minus 1 at plus 128. The gift is Seattle moneyline plus 105. The taint play today is the Mariners moneyline minus 105. The hip to be square play of the day is Yankees Rangers money line parlay at plus 119. That's 5-5 is the season record, but it's plus 2 units. I'm looking at the first 5 under in Royals Rangers, but I need a little bit more time before I tweet it out. Loshak's on the Rockies first 5 at plus 136. Piker's on the Rockies full game plus 155. Then Jose's on the Nats at plus 250, and I have interest in the first 5 under 4.5 in Nats Angels. Loshak's on the first 5 over 4 in Brewers Diamondbacks. Then I'm interested in backing May early. I think he's lights out here. I just got to figure out how to do it. First 3 and first 5, but I do have a little bit of hesitancy because of how good the Giants are against the Dodgers, but. There we go. That was MLB. And what a treat it is to break it down with Pistol Pete Loshak here every Tuesday. Thank you for the help from the chat. The chat was excellent. Wasn't the chat just money in the bank?
I mean, there's no word. There are no words.
Absolute money in the bank. This chat is, and Jose coming in with the say plays of the day and also discussing the Red Sox game. So this is the group. This is the crew. We must succeed with this group. I don't see how we won't. I don't see how we can't. Let's move on to NBA. It is play-in time. I was asked what I thought about the Raptors tomorrow from Equanimus. I told you I made my first parlay, and I don't remember the last one. Yes, I do. It was a UFC parlay when we were in San Antonio, but I couldn't remember one before that. I did. I parlayed the Lakers money line and the Raptors money line, and I for 2 units, and I'm going to put a unit on the Bulls for a middle tomorrow. That's my plan with that bet here. Dan Kelly's given us the New York Knicks at plus 180, and he's tied the Knicks at plus 180 and the Nets at plus 618. There you go. Says he's got a very high win percentage whenever he's fading the Cavs, Browns, or the Tribe, because that's his team. Tori Coker's given us Minnesota plus 8 and Atlanta plus 5. But let's bring on our star of NBA coverage here at Pub Sports Radio. He shares Tuesdays with us, and we love him dearly. Please welcome to the show from Compton, California, Wham Bam 3000 in the house. Wham.
Oh,
What's up, my friend? How are you?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling great. I love that we get to break down the plan. It's on Tuesday. Come on, man. I feel like we got to make money today, and I already locked in some bets. Some bets I can't give out officially because the line moved against us, but you guys will know where I'm leaning here in that direction if you get a live spot. Talking about the Laker game, but then I do have action in that first game as well. So I got action today on both games, so ain't no backwoods for me, bro. I like props in both games, and I like what I'm hearing with you with the Raptors too, and that's the type of confidence I need from you, Jimmy. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't know that many Raptors fans that's diehard as much as you are, and I need you to put your nuts on the table one time, man. Let them know. Fuck the Bulls, bro. Fuck the Bulls.
You know, I am like going that for the middle, so I don't know. I don't know how big, the thing is I was going to fade them after those 2 games
on the table. Not both balls, just one ball on the table.
Well, yeah, I put one ball on the table, leave one ball under the table. I was going to fade them after those 2 games in Boston, and then I walked it off. It took me a day, and I was like, what am I talking about? Raptors are at home. We see what the Raptors do at the house, but we'll discuss that game more tomorrow. But the Lakers-Raptors parlay, moneyline parlay is going to be really fun, I believe, and then going for the middle. But let's get to work here. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the play-in the Eastern Conference, 7th place versus 8th place. Hawks 41-41, 17-24 on the road in 8th place. At the Miami Heat, 44-38, 27-14 at home. We're in Miami, Florida for this one. Let's talk about the line history here. First, we have the Heat opening up at -5 at -108. Now they're -5 at -104. This did go to 4.5. It moved to 4.5 at 9:52 p.m. yesterday. It only lasted there for about an hour. Actually, no, I take that back. It lasted there for a while. Sorry, my bad. It lasted for almost 12 hours. At 8:49 a.m., it moved back to 5. So there's a slight move towards Atlanta. And then when it moved back to 5, it looks like Atlanta got touched and hammered again because it went back to 4.5, and then now it's at 5. So it's basically exactly there's been a 4-cent move towards the Hawks since the opening number at Pinnacle. From a total perspective, this opened up at 227.5. There's been a 5-cent move towards the under. Pace-wise, Miami was playing at a faster pace. Miami finished the year, the final 5 games, 4-1, playing 98.4 possessions a game. Atlanta also playing at a faster pace in the end of the year, 3-2, 103.78 possessions a game. Rick J says, had Heat great chance of covering because they defend threes well. Hawks may need to hit threes in the final minute of the game to stay in reach. Sky Dragon says, I don't trust Miami to score easy enough to cover, and he is looking at the under. Bo Jackson says the Hawks are going to fuck with y'all heads. Says because folk think they don't play well on the road. Troy Torrance says Heat 9 of 10 straight up and 7 of 10 against spread at home versus Atlanta. Absolutely crushed them in the first round last year. Yes, they did. 5 games. The Heat won 4-1. The Heat have an ability to shut down Trae Young. Trae Young just doesn't seem to get off against this squad. Let's take a look at the cash flow, and then we will move into a quick table setting. We'll see what Pistol Pete Loshak thinks about the spot, and then we'll have Wham Bam give us the expert analysis. 53% of the tickets are on the Heat and 48% of the cash, so there's no real help. That's 70,000 tickets. Then total-wise, 51% of the tickets and 68% cash is on the under. Joe Yerger says the Heat don't deserve any favorite love this season. Rob Free says we all know Miami's the worst covering team at home in the NBA. Alfred says a lot of people I respect on NBA are on the Hawks to win. He says he is riding with them. Dave Redling, the Ron Crawford play of the day is the Minnesota Twins -1 at +101. There you go, Dave, my man. Luchace Fox loving the over on this game. Eric Jones on the under. Troy saying Heat much better on defense, whereas you got Trae Young, who's the biggest liability. So Atlanta comes in off their second straight loss, 121-14 at Boston on Sunday. DeAndre Hunter was the only starter to play. The others were rested. Miami has Atlanta's number, 3-1 this season. Stopped them last year in the playoffs very easily, 4-1. Young struggles against Miami in 17 career games. He's averaging 21.4 points per game, shooting at 42.2%, threes at 32.8%. In 4 games this year, he was even worse, 19.8 points per game on 35.6% shooting, 20.8% from deep. On March 4th, Miami held Young to 8 points on 2 of 13 shooting. Heat coming off their 4th win in 5 games, 123-110 at home versus Orlando on Sunday. Butler rested the final 2 games. Spoelstra also rested Bam, Kevin, Tyler Hero against the Wizards, and Kyle Lowry also was rested against the Wizards. Pete, what do you think of this spot? The first playing game of the year, Hawks Heat.
I mean, I'll let you guys break it down, and I don't understand why Luchace Fox loves the over in this game, but I was seeing this, and I was like, what am I missing? Under and first half under? Are those not at least somewhat decent plays? I'm leaning under and first half under.
I'm with you, especially the first half under, especially that. Noli knows interested if we are going to move on this under. LJ from H-Town says, question is, can the Hawks keep Miami off the boards? +18 advantage on rebounds for the season series. That's over 4 games. Wine Time Sports on the Hawks +5 and sprinkled the money line. Troy Torrance says Butler will be the best player and leader on the floor. And Luchace Fox says, look, any playoff game, the pace is going to be frantic at the end. 228 is a real low number. He sees 240-ish. Wow. Troy Torrance says, I love Heat in all moneyline parlays. Says, bet them double result, and we'll be looking for live action on them. BJ says, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Hawks +5 for $500. There's Cuban Connect in the house. Respect. LJ from H-Town's on the first quarter, over 58.5. Mally Mal thinking Heat first quarter. Well, let's see what our Wham Bam thinks about this spot. Take it away, Wham. Hawks Heat playing game in the Eastern Conference.
Man, we got the Miami Heat in the first time being in a play-in against a veteran ATL squad. This is their third play-in game. They're 2-0 ATS in the play-in since it's been created. Trae Young knows how to hold it down, but like you said, seemed like they just know how to play against this the Hawks team as far as the Heat. They know how to keep Trae Young down on assists. That's what they pretty much did last year. I think they could do the same thing again today, but I'm not going to go against that. I'm not going with that trend that they're going to be able to hold Trae down on assists, because this is a different game. This is a different team. They made the addition in getting that kid from Detroit. And I just fucking blew smoke in his head. I'm looking at the actual thing right here now. Sadiq Bey. Can't get his name out of my mouth there. Now that they got Sadiq Bey, I think that makes a bigger difference along with DeJounte Murray. This is a different team. This Hawks team all that shit that happened in the regular season, seems like Trae Young is going to let that shit fly out the window. We know he was not shooting good this year. We know he was not good in the 3-point spot. And as far as this Heat team, let's be real, bro. Let's be real. As far as the Heat team, they kind of are limping in here, even though they've been playing really good on the offensive side. I think their ranked net rating is top 2, if I'm not mistaken, number 2 in net rating over the last 5 games to end the season off. I'm not anticipating them to play this well in this game. I know they're at home. I know this is a number that we normally would go ahead and jump on a favor here, but no way, bro. No way I'm taking the Heat in this spot. I think that we know that Jimmy Butler is a main catalyst of what this Heat needs to do, along with them making threes. I do think Gabe Vincent goes over his 1.5 3-point makes. That is going to be official play for me. I think if anybody on the Heat is going to be able to hit the threes, it's going to be Gabe Vincent. I don't think they're going to focus too much on him as much as they're going to focus on Jimmy or Strus or even Kyle Lowry. I know Lowry is questionable, but he's going to be playing this game. Come on, they have to win this game. The winner of this game is obviously has another shot, but I think the Heat does get to the playoffs. But against this team right here, I'm not putting honestly, I think it's a wobbler as far as the Heat making the playoffs. Because I think, like you, Jimmy, I think Toronto wins tomorrow, and they play the Heat, and they end up beating the Heat as well. So I think they end up fighting out for the Heat spot. I think the Heat are out the playoffs, and a lot of that has to do with what they did not do in the offseason. They didn't go out. They tried to get the Kevin Durant. We know they had rumors on that. We know they had rumors on Donovan Mitchell. They didn't get any of those guys. And then as far as the trade that they end up making in the offseason, it's very minimum. They didn't do any moves. They didn't make any moves. So they still just have Bam. I know that LJ talked about the rebounding with the Hawks. I'm not really worried about that, bro. This is a different team, I think, going into the playoffs that we normally going to see. I feel like a lot of the things that they made as far as corrections is going to show here. I'm not saying that Trae Young is going to be lights out from 3, but I think he shoots a little bit better in this game. He's able to distribute, goes over the 9.5 assists, and I think Strus goes over the 1.5 3-point makes. But as far as the side, I'm taking the Hawks, man. I got them at +5. It's the only thing that didn't move that much in my direction, but I like the Hawks, bro, in this spot. I'm ski lining it, as we would say, if we're trying to get the middle here. Well, I took the money line with the Hawks, and I took the +5. I think they win this game. They show that they are the play-in gurus of some sort, and Trae Young just holds it down in this spot. So I think that they get into the play-in. Get into the playoffs at that 7th spot. I'm willing to see what the number looks at before I jump out the win and say that the Heat is out the playoffs. But my thought process here is that Jimmy Butler needs to get as many free throws as he can in order to win this game. Let's talk about this being a no weird ref situation. We don't have Scott Foster today. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no weird ref situation. There's no real records on either side. This can be pretty much an even cut type game. I feel like it'd be called here. So I think the pace will be put up there with the Hawks. The Heat kind of did tail in on the pace. You did mention that as well, Jimmy. I think the pace will be up there for the Hawks since they're going to dictate the pace. I'm with you guys on the under in the first half for sure, but the second half, I think they are going to start to get that jumper off. Not mad at the Heat coming out early to win the first half, but I think the first half maybe a little bit more tight in that span. They may be able to squeeze up cover, but it's going to be a tough game, wire to wire. I think it's going to be back and forth, and I think down the stretch, you're going to see the Hawks be able to pull it off. Just having more guys, just having better guys out there. You don't have to rely on Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry as much as you are as those type of talent-wise players. You got, Sadiq Bey, you got Bogdanovich, you got, Murray. You got a lot of guys that you're having to rely on in this one particular game. I think the Hawks are going to hold it down here. So I like the Hawks to continue their playing 3-0 ATS spot, and I think the Heat possibly are going to be out the playoffs.
Interesting stuff. Troy Torrance said, I'm waiting patiently to hear why the Hawks are the right side. So am I. I'm waiting. Troy Torrance and I are waiting. Probably other people. No, I'm kidding around. Yeah, man, I don't know. You can throw the under for me. First half under, 116.5 minus 110. Give me the
I'm
bag.
going to run with that under 116.5.
And if it loses by a mile, I'll eat it.
Loshak, I'm going to run with that. That was a fascinating breakdown. Do you want to make the money line also official, or are we just doing the +5 -106 and the Vincent over threes?
We could take the +175 is what I got it at. I think you're getting the best at +180. So we could take that as official as well. I think I really don't think I need the points. We're gonna really see it, bro. Like everyone expect Jimmy Butler to be, so well, but it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago we were saying Paul George was better than Jimmy Butler, right? You know what I mean? And Paul George in this situation, y'all think he's going to hold it down against the Hawks? I don't think so. I don't think Jimmy Butler is better than Paul George. So I'm going to keep that same energy, man. Say the undrafted players don't be able to hold it down in these playoff situations, especially against a team that's already used to it. So I like the Hawks here, man, all the way. So we could definitely I'll put that as the official play for me anyway. So it's bet the same as far as the +5 and the money line at +175, but I think we're getting better at +180. Then as far as the props that I'm making official as well, we're going to take Gabe Vincent to go over 1.5 3-point makes. Having issues recently to close the season out, but I think they need him. They need him to get at least 2 3-pointers here. And then also I'm taking the Trae Young over 9.5 assists at +110. I think that he gets Sadiq Bey involved, like my guy LJ is saying. I think he gets guys like DeJounte Murray involved, even though they're both really good at distributing the ball. I think Trae Young knows that that's his game plan now. Quinn Snyder is kind of pushing that narrative on him. So I think he already had that narrative being pushed on him all year alone. So we're going to just go back to the well with that. I think he continues to show that. And back-to-back assists leader for Trae Young, I think he has a good showing today against a team that I did note that they have been holding him down to assist. I think he continues to hold it down. So they say I'm wilding up in here. gas report say when I'm wilding out. Hey, I understand, bro. In the playoffs, this is when I go at the chat. This is when I normally go at the chat. So I'm not tripping off of going at the chat. I'm not tripping off of losing. We do this shit on a regular basis. I'll be on the Pub Hub today. We'll be on Wham Talk today. I'm saying the same shit. The Hawks is going to win today. They're going to knock down the 7th spot, and the Heat most likely will be out the playoffs.
Young assists. What was that number in juice?
+110, 9.5, and then the 1.5. I think it was -124 for Gabe Vincent, if I'm not mistaken. I confirm that real quick.
Wow. That was a very exciting take. A very, very exciting take. Well, I'm not holding back any punches, man. Moneyline Hawks +5. Young over 9.5 assists at +110. Vincent over 1.5 threes at -124. Loshak on the first half under 116.5. I will be joining him on that first half under. Sorry, did I say over? Sorry. First half under 116.5. I'll be joining him on that under. This is very, very fun. And it's also part of the fun is when we don't agree. It just adds more elements of fun. And it's interesting. We have a Troy Torrance and Wham Bam on other sides, and I love this. So Tori Coker says, "I know the Lakers are not covering. Are we ready to move on to the Lake Show game? Anything you wanted to add to this Hawks Heat, Pete?"
No,
Okay.
Definitely not.
Very, very fun breakdown. Very, very, very enjoyable. Okay, let's move on to 10 p.m. Eastern. The Minnesota Timberwolves 42-40, 20-21 on the road at the LA Lakers 43-39, 23-18 at home. We're at Crypto. Tone Miggins has already given us the levels play of the day, and we know what Tone does. He cashes. That's Austin Reeves over 4.5 assists at +120. Over 4.5 assists at +120, and he's got a unit and a half on that. Shout out to Tone Miggins. All right. G. Martinez says Lakers going to put their foot down. Blue Chase Fox says rigged for the Lakers. Blindly just bet the Lakers. LJ from H-Town is on the Timberwolves +4.5 first half. Gas Report says Lakers by 20, and he's laughing. So let's just copy and paste some of these comments here, have them ready to go, and let's go ourselves. First off, pace-wise, they both been moving pretty quick. Minnesota has actually slowed down a tiny bit, but Lakers have sped up. Minnesota 3-2 over the past 5, playing the pace of 101.7 possessions a game. Lakers 4-1, playing the pace of 102.86 possessions a game. This is our final game on today's show, and we thank you dearly for rolling with us. Let's move on to the line history for this one. We have the Lake Show opening up at -6.5. They're now -8.5. Total wise, this opened up at 231. It's now at 233. 2-point move towards the over. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot. We have 54% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the Lakers. It's now at 8.5. Total wise, 34% of the tickets, 64% of cash on the under, and yet this total has gone up 2 points. Dan Kelly says, since the show started, I took off my studded snows, put on my winter tires on my car, cut down a bunch of branches with my chainsaw, and went to the compost site and dumped off a load of brush.
Mm-hmm. Always pushing forward, Dan Kelly in life.
Wow.
He's much more manly than us.
Mm-hmm.
He's much more manly than us.
That
But I
guy's
think
the
he's
best.
impressed that the show is still on. Oh, he meant summer tires. That's good. That's good. I think it's more. He's impressed with us as much as we're impressed with him. I think that's the case. I think this is just both of us. But let's go back to work here. We talked about the cash flow, so let's set a table for Wham Bam 3000. The Timberwolves come in off their third straight win, 113-108 at home versus Pelicans on Sunday. Of course, Wuhan Gobert threw a punch at Kyle Anderson and will not be available. Not only will Wuhan Gobert not be available, either will Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his right hand punching the wall during Sunday's game. That happened in high school basketball with us. I remember we have a rival team. We were playing our rival, and I was chirping at the point guard, chirping. We hit a dagger three, and while I was chirping at him, he punched the wall, broke his hand, and was out for the rest of the season as well. So I too know the joy of watching a player punch the wall. Minnesota out without Jaden McDaniels, without Naz Reid, without Wuhan Gobert. The Lakers come in off their second straight win, 128-117 at home versus Utah on Sunday. And look, they went 17-7 down the stretch. I am a LeBron James fan, and I'm proud to say it. The NBA is lucky to have him. And he was great. He was absolutely great in that stretch run, after he came back from injury. And he's, kept everybody together and kept everybody focused. And now, what do they do to the Minnesota Timberwolves? Take it away for us, Pistol Pete Loshak. Is it too big of a spread now?
Dude, I have no clue at all. Is the game fixed for the Lakers? Sure, why not? Lakers money line, maybe -360. What do you think?
We have some comparisons to what Dan Kelly did in his manliness. Luchase Fox put a new door on his chicken coop, smoked a fat bowl, and ate a delicious cinnamon roll. What's going on? Okay, let's hear from our expert. Wham Bam 3000. Timberwolves, Lakers.
Damn, man. Why do everything got to point towards the Lakers in this spot, bro? And I took the 7. I took the 7 at the Lakers. And this is the reason why I started off saying, hey, man, I don't know if I could give y'all this one. Because the way it looks, it seems like it's just too easy to take the Lakers. Yeah, they made their way over 4 games over 500. They made their way to go against opponent that honestly I thought they were going to have to go up against the Pelicans. Seemed like that was the way everything was shaped off. But the last day of the NBA regular season was crazy as hell. And now we placing a team that just pretty much imploded on that same last day. Like you fucking said, bro. Like, what the fuck? Why are you punching the wall just because you got your second foul? What are we doing, Jaden? Like, what are we doing, dog? Like, what are we doing? Like, do they know the script? Because, I mean, this is one of those things like, we heard Arian Foster come out and say in the NFL, neither here nor there, but they talk about the script that's given during the playoffs. Did he get the script in first quarter? Like, fuck, we go against the Lakers. I don't want to do this. And then punch out the wall. Like, I don't understand what was he doing that for? Because honestly, without Gobert, I think we have a chance to lose. But without Jaden, I mean, there's no reason for me to think that Rui doesn't go crazy, continue to bully the second unit. AD goes bonkers because his fucking cat, Karl Anthony Towns. Like, are we really feared for Karl Anthony Towns? No, the freak, we're not. The last game, he didn't have to go in the paint. He just stayed his ass out and did all the 3-point marks. And now you got to get your ass down to the rebound, Carl. Like, it's a different ball game now. Like, it's a total different game from you guys along with them. One thing I will say, though, I will say that it was kind of interesting to see that Edwards had a bad game on the last day to come back. In this game, I think he's going to go fucking crazy on us, Anthony Edwards, because as much as I love LeBron, you say you're a LeBron fan, we know his defensive days are over. I mean, he will find himself probably playing a little defense in this game, but I still think the fact that they got another opportunity, he might just still give up and some shit like that. You know, I don't rule that out. I don't rule that out. As a Laker fan, I don't rule that out. But I am on the Lakers -7. I pray that I win and cash this shit. If you got the 9 right now, I'll just tell you, pray. It's in God's hands, bro. The Lakers winning by double digits is in God's hands today. I ain't gonna lie. I love the 7 when the announcement of Rudy Gobert was out. But the more I think about it, it's starting to push me towards the Timberwolves being able to pull this shit off on us. And maybe the Lakers just want to go against Jokic and them first seed boys in the Nuggets, because that's honestly the better matchup for us. If we go look ahead in the spot, and if I wouldn't be mad at the Lakers for tanking this fucking game, I ain't gonna lie, and trying to get the matchup with the Nuggets, because we don't fear going up against either of the next 2 teams, OKC or the Trailblazers. The Pelicans or the OKC Thunder. So I don't think they're scared of that. They feel like they could win that game. In this game, they should win, of course. I got the 7, but I really don't feel as confident as I am prior to the McDaniels. It just seems like everything is just forming for the Lakers here. Obviously, we should win. I love the look for Austin Reeves, one of the guys in the chat. I think Austin Reeves continue to play well, but I'm telling you, man, my Laker instincts telling me we on some whole shit tonight. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if we on some whole shit tonight, even though I got, man, my damn near my best bet is the 7. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not cashing out of it, because obviously I got the number I need, but I'm not as confident in it as well. So for me, mainly, man, I love the Hawks today, bro. That's what I'm telling y'all. I love the Hawks today. As far as props in this game, I did lock in Conley over 5.5 assists, and it's over 2.5 threes. 5.5 assists was at +112. That's the official play for me in this game. I think Conley has to be the guy. Like, again, you're really relying on Cat. Now we need your offense, Conley, and we need you to continue to double down on the assists to get a little bit more open looks, allow him to play a little bit more off ball. So I expect Conley to be a big factor in this game. He always plays the Lakers, as much as I'm a fan, he always plays us really well. I expect D'Lo to have a great game again going up against his old team. I expect him to have a really good game, possibly hitting 4 to 5 threes tonight. I haven't made that official, but the official plays in this game is going to be the Conley spot. It's going to go over 2.5 3-point makes and over 5.5 assists at +112. The threes right now, I don't think you guys are going to be able to get that -120 I got. Let me see where it's at.
So the over 5.5 is +112 though?
+112 though. 5.5 +112 for the Conley assist.
And the threes you'll grab for us?
Yeah, I'm trying to get that shit right now. Why am I?
What do you think after hearing that breakdown, Pistol Pete Loshak?
I want no part of this game. I have no idea which way this game is going to be fixed. I have no idea which way this game is going to be tanked. I have no clue. Pass.
I think that Abel's right, though. I think it's more important for the Lakers to get rest than to pick between Grizzlies or Nuggets. I mean, who cares?
You would think. You would think.
So I'm with Abel there. Everything's being discussed here. Harold Williams says he expects Lakers to win as well, but not 8.5. Nutflushton says LBJ can't play defense when he's too busy putting on the crown after he makes a 3. There's some dislike.
It's a +131. The 2.5 +131.
Wow, so big. You got a really juicy card today, Wham, with a lot of plus action. Let's touch on the total here for our guy Luchase Fox. It was funny, Pete. Somebody said to Luchase Fox, said in the chat a couple of days ago, like, "Are you new here?" And Luchase Fox was like, "I think I'm actually I think I was actually the very first Loback on the very first show. And he's right. I think
Shout out to Luce Spots. And no, I was not trolling you at all. I was like, yeah, maybe it is freaking fixed for the Lakers here. Hell yeah. Not trolling you in the slightest.
The total opening up at 231, it's now at 233. We know that the Lakers have been playing with more pace, and it's not hard for the Wolves to do the same, especially when they're going to be dropping a small ball unit out there at times, with Cat being the only big. Let's see what the cash flow is once more on the total. This total's got 36% of the cash on the over, 66% tickets, 36% of cash. Do you think with the bigs out from Minnesota that this pushes this game to an over, Wham?
Yeah, I mean, they have to continue to push the pace. I like the assist prop just based off of, I think that Conley's going to try to do that. But for the most part, bro, like, who's going to stop? Are the Lakers really showing us that they're really good on the defensive side as of lately? No, they haven't. They were good on the defensive side, but recently they've been falling like really flat, or at least in the middle of the pack, ranked 11 in defensive rating to end the season on last 5 games. So I think they might still give it up. And I'm not saying that I don't like the Lakers, y'all. I know people in the chat say there's no way the Lakers lose today. Of course, that's how I feel too. I took the 7 once the Go Bird news came out. But again, the fact that it's just like the capper in me is scaring the shit out of me from even try to talk anyone else on this shit. You know what I mean? Like I lose the money, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to try to lose. So that's why I'm not as confident in there. But as far as the over though, bro, I like the over a lot. The only reason why I haven't played that because I got so many Conley props and things of that nature. And yeah, I don't think the Lakers are going to care too much about defense. They're going to be mostly trying to get guys involved offensively.
I think the over is in play as well. I really do. And I'm going to move on it, in fact. So let's review all NBA. Thank you to our expert Wham Bam 3000 for rolling with us. We have Wham Bam on game 1. He's on the Hawks +5, the Hawks money line +184, Trae Young over 9.5 assists at +110, and Gabe Vincent over 1.5 threes -124. Loshak and I are on the first half under 116.5. Diesel Eugene, who knows these Angels inside now. We know the cappers, like what teams they talk about. Alfred, watching every second of every Braves game. Diesel Eugene with the Angels says Trout and Ohtani went 0 for 8 last night. I think both hitter props are worth a look tonight against Josiah Gray. And Dan Kelly says God like Russell's props versus his old team. So then in the next spot, by the way, Dan Kelly has the same game parlay with Ant's points over, Russell's assists over, and the T-Wolves +8.5. Then in our final game, Wham's on the Lakers -7, Conley over 2.5 threes at +131, over 5.5 assists at +112. LJ from H-Town gave us the Wolves +4.5 first half. Tone Miggins levels play of the day is Austin Reeves, assists over 4.5 at +120. And I am on the full game over in this spot. The only concern I would have is maybe I should only focus on the first half in case it is a blow. But even if it's a blowout, things will get sloppy and points will still be scored. So maybe I don't want to double up here. So I do believe in the over, but I'm not going to go first half and full game, even though I do like the over a lot, in fact. And the fact that there's more bets here on the under with these players being out, I find appealing as well. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. Sorry, 65% of the tickets are on the over and 36% cash. Oh, that's what I'm saying. So the bigger bets have come in on the under and the total's gone up and up. So they're just opening their arms. Who wants under bets? Bet your unders. There's just not going to be bigs out there slowing this game down. It could be a race. And why wouldn't you want a race?
Wayne Gabriel out there.
But if you were the Wolves, why wouldn't you want to run AD and LeBron into the ground?
Right. So,
wow. I like it. I think maybe it should be a double stop. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. It doesn't quite correlate, so I can't double up, but I'm certainly interested in the over in this spot. Well, there you have it. Wham Bam, thank you for taking the time to roll with us. Have a great show on NBA Pub Up today at 4 p.m. Eastern. And just know you're loved. And thank you for running with us, my guy. Wham Bam, 3000 rolling with us, and he's got a ton of action on the card. Made it really exciting. Any last words for the Capper support in the show, Wham?
Oh man, well, shout out to Pete as well. I am on that no runs first inning with the Phillies, 2-1 so far with the Nerfies we've given out. That would be official play for me as well. Also like the D-backs Nerfie and the Dodgers Nerfie as well. Both Kelly and May's been pretty good in the first inning. So that's it, man. I'll be on the NBA Pub Hub, NBA Hoop Banging Sports Talk on my show, and I'll be on there with the live sweat with Jimmy Gomez and Ixnizzo as well later on tonight. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We'll be live, bro.
Respect. There he is, Wham Bam 3000. All right, let's review all action here. Again, we're on a very nice run. Last week was excellent, 25-17 plus 9.25 units. Since March 7th, when I just had enough after having a tough start to the year on the show, 134 and 108, 55.4% plus 22.36 units. And let's keep that going. In NHL, we stayed off of Capitals Bruins, but we now know the Bruins are playing their stars. I'm on the Canes on the puck line, minus 115. Loshak's on the first period, under 2 at minus 125. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on the Sabres jersey, under 7. Then Loshak's on the Flyers, minus 1 at minus 118. I love the plan. I love the look, and I'm going to tail it. Love the breakdown. Loshak's on the Leafs, team total under 2.5, and the Lightning, minus 1 at plus 110. I'm interested in the under 6.5 in Chicago-Pittsburgh. I'm on the Jets, money line, plus 100. Loshak moved on the Jets first period money line plus 101. That interests me. Oilers, Avalanche. We are off, of course. I need the Oilers to put pressure on the Knights. Then Loshak's on the Ducks, team total over 2.5, and the Ducks minus 1 at plus 246. And we are off Kraken, Knights. In MLB, we got Viper and B, who's all over overs. Boston, Tampa over 7. Miami, Philadelphia over 7.5. Detroit, Toronto over 8.5. San Diego, New York, Mets over 8.5. Seattle, Chicago over 9.5. Chicago, White Sox, Minnesota over 7.5. And Miami, first 5 money line. Matty Ice gave us the Yanks, first 5 minus a half. It's not his taint play of the day, but it's on his card. Loshak's on the Yanks, first 5, team total over 2.5 plus 107. We are off A's, O's. Loshak's on the Pirates, plus 154. I'm interested in the under in that spot. Going to study it more. Jose gave us the Red Sox, plus 159. The first 5 under, minus 120. Loshak's on the Rays, first 3, minus 160. I'm interested in the first 5 under 4. Very interested. Loshak's on the Nerfy, no runs first inning in Marlins, Phillies. He's on the Tigers, first 3 at plus 210. And I want the Tigers early. And the first 3 under 2.5. I'm very excited. Sold out Rogers Center tonight for our home opener. Loshak's on the Padres, minus 1 at plus 157. He's on the Reds, minus 1 at plus 268. He's on the Twins, minus 1 at plus 100, correlating with Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play today. That's minus 1 at plus 101. I'm leaning to the under, want to study it more. Then Loshak's on the Mariners, minus 1 at plus 128. TJ is on Seattle, money line at plus 105. The Gift, 13-2-1 on the show. The Gift has made an appearance on the Mariners, plus 105. And the taint play today is the Mariners, minus 105. The hip to be square play today from Mike M is the Yankees and the Rangers at plus 119. That's 5-5 so far this year, plus 2.0 units. I'm interested in the first 5 under in Royals, Rangers, Lyles, DeGrom. Loshak's on the Rockies, first 5 at plus 136. Poker Addicted 79's on the Rockies, plus 155. Jose's on the Nats at plus 250. You can get a better line now if you also want to back a team that's going up against a minus 300. And I'm interested in the first 5 under 4.5. Loshak's on the first 5 over 4 minus 125 in Milwaukee, Arizona. And I would like to be on the Dodgers early, but I need to study it a little bit more. Julian Cesare's on the Yankees, first 5 minus a half, full game minus 1. Astros, first 5 minus a half, and full game minus 1. There you have it. Thank you all to the cappers in the chat. Pistol Pete, would you like any last words to these cappers in the chat before we put a bow on this?
Oh, man, we keep going here in 2023. It's all ultimately about love, jokes, having fun, friendship, community. You know what I'm saying? They can't take that away from us. Community, jokes, friendship, having a good time. I had a great time here. A couple of the lines I just checked moved against me. That's okay. Tampa Bay first 3 is now down to minus 150. Detroit first 3 is now up to plus 200. It's cool. It's okay because we had a good time. We had a great time, in fact, in today's show. And we're going to do it all again next Tuesday. Huge shout out of love to everyone who participated in today's show, and Slaughter, and Trot Wam, and Jose Bouquet, everyone.
That's beautiful.
What a great Tuesday it was today.
It was a really, really fun Tuesday. I love these. I cherish the chance to cap a Pistol P. Loshak. And if you want to hang out with Lodal's Loshak, Pupapalooza 3 in San Antonio. But we might even put something together in Atlantic City just to hang out with him once more because you were magic. You were absolute magic. Thank you guys so much, all of you. Lou Chase, Fox, Danielson, Nasty, Nate, Julian Cesario, Harold Williams, Piker, G. Martinez, Nutflush Allen, Bo Jackson, Abel Alvarez, Tay Butta, Troy Torrance, What a great group. Dan, Kelly, North Ender, Alfred 44, Diesel, Eugene, Luches, Fox, Von Polo, Mally, Mal. What a great group. Rick, Jay, Dave, Redling, Lucky, Lefty. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Markel, LJ from H-Town. Let's roll that shit like that shit. Smoke it. Let's get that cash. We are stringing together positive weeks. 4 of our last 5 weeks have been in the black, and we must stack winning weeks just like we did last year. 10 straight winning months. Let's get back to that. We started with March. Let's keep that going. Most importantly, let's milk the man. Let's milk these bookies. Leche! Hey, Los bookmakers! Milk that shit in the